And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Best Damn Podcast. Joining me tonight is, of course, your future governor of Central Illinois and wrestling legend, Jason Wilhite. You know him, you love him. You can't live without him. It's just Bubba. And, ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling for a Cure heavyweight champion and no Skeletor. Not a small guy.
No.
He is not a small guy. Sid Holland! Ladies and gentlemen, give him applause.
You know, I'm going to throw another title out there. I think he's probably got the best beard in the business.
Yeah.
I mean,
right? Look at that. Look, I got to expose skin just so you can see it properly. Look at that. Oh, man. So I cut if you guys know, years back, I used to have long hair. And when I cut all my hair off, it felt weird. So I was like, well, next logical thing, I'm going to grow the beard out. So I grew the beard.
Skeletor's like, oh, shit, he a big boy.
if it grows too much, I got the reverse skunk going on there.
I can't wait to get gray, man.
Oh, dude, what the heck? I don't want gray in mine.
Oh, dude, I want the salt and pepper distinguished look so bad.
No,
it does, man. It throws a little style in it. I ain't going to lie.
Right, man. And then you can actually tell where it is. It doesn't blend into every shirt you wear.
Yes.
Well, you could have some of my gray hair, that's for sure.
I'd take it, man.
Look at this.
As much as I make fun of it, I like this amount, maybe a little bit more, but I don't want it full on gray.
Right. Yeah. At that point, you got to do the touch of gray.
Yep, exactly.
See, but my beard gets almost as long as Sid's, and then about March, we're going to wax the son of a bitch off because it's becoming a freaking tradition here.
Hey, it raises money, man, when you go through paying on waxing.
Yeah, but it's also, the more it grows out, the more I realize it's not going to last long. These guys are going to destroy it. The audience and everybody's going to destroy it. So look on the bright side. You know, at least you ain't got to wax your beard. I would not recommend that at all if you're ever trying
to
shave it. You know, I'm just the idiot that does it. So welcome to this.
Little tender right here.
Oh, no. It gets tender right about here towards the Adam's apple. But the worst part was last year, Corey made me wax
your Widow's Peak.
Widow's Peak, yeah. And that motherfucking hurt. Yeah, see, there's one person right there.
Vince said he'll destroy it.
So welcome to the show, Sid. So
thank you.
You are a huge presence in the Central Illinois wrestling community.
Man, I'd like to think so.
You're known as the Midwest Menace. That's one of your nicknames.
Yes, sir.
You are the Wrestling for a Cure heavyweight champion. What other titles have you carried throughout your career?
Oh, man. Well, let's see. I'll just kind of start from the beginning. My first championship ever in like actual pro would be as a tag team champion for a promotion that's no longer around called WOE. I was tag team champions there for the first time. In RCW, I won there. Now, this one was kind of weird. It was the United States Illinois Championship. I never understood that. I kept telling them, like, pick one.
Yes.
United States, Illinois. Okay.
Right.
I think years ago, it used to be like their wild card champion. And then someone was like United States. And then somebody said, well, dude, everyone's got a United States. And then it became Illinois. And then they just kind of.
Yeah. And then they ended up getting a wild card again on top of that. So then they had this, it was a weird situation, but I didn't hold that one very long. A lot of tag titles since then. I had, there was a post that I saw the other day. It was like polyslamorous.
What the hell is polyslamorous?
So it's, polyamorous is, right? Where you have partners. Okay, so same thing, polyslamorous. You've had multiple tag partners. Well, that's kind of been me. I went from my original tag partner, Mike Osiris, to Tyler Bodine. And I've kind of just jumped around and had a bunch of other random. Sometimes I'll just get paired with this dude, Frankie D. I got paired with him randomly for a little while. Jake Prater, him and I, as the Midwest Mercenaries, him and I held him and I held 4 different tag belts at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the most success together. And then after him and I kind of broke off is when I won my first heavyweight championship. That was with IEW. And then the story that was going on completed itself. I filled my commitments and, finally dropped that. And then I went I was wrestling for IWA Productions, which is up in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
If you guys haven't been there, you got to come there, dude. The production is awesome there.
Hey, Adam.
Huh?
He was just saying hi to a fan.
We got
right on.
a chat room going on.
Yeah, so I became the heavyweight champion at IWA, and then some things kind of went down, and I decided to hand over the championship and look into some other things. A better version of Tyler. Tyler wishes that he was a single version of me.
If nobody has ever seen Sid, I met Sid. I met you Wrestling for a Cure season 8, and it was when you had the feud going on. You started the feud with Tyler Bodine, I believe.
Yeah.
And you walked out. I'm like, that man is a fucking tank. Holy shit! There's no way I ever want to piss him off, but no, he is like a Sherman tank or an Abrams, 100%. What's up, Sage?
What up, what up?
So, all right. So, you recently won at season 8 last year. You won the Wrestling for a Cure heavyweight title in a triple threat match against Mac Daddy Duds, who'd held the belt for so long. It was Yoder?
And
Yoder. Correct.
Yoder.
Yep.
That's a gauntlet, dude.
That is.
Gauntlet.
Because you're talking about 3 guys who they know what they're doing, and also they're not some pushover. It is like a battle of, the best way I can describe it, it was a battle of alpha males or alpha predators, I guess is the best way to describe it. What was your thoughts going into that match? Were you a little concerned with it?
Me? No, dude. I had all the faith in the world in the 2 guys that I was going to be in that ring with. I knew that, we didn't really have a whole lot of time to like build a story for people to be like, oh God, I gotta see, the conclusion of this story. It was just, we're going to tell a story here tonight, and they're going to remember it. And that was basically the whole plan was, let's go out there, let's give them something to remember. It almost broke down though. There was a kid that was in the crowd and he got hit, and I just completely blanked out and walked away. They continued. They went into the ring, but I went and checked on the kid and was making sure he was okay. And then I was like, "Oh right, I'm in this match."
I remember
my pants.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it was I had all the faith in the world in that, man. So I was so stoked to be a part of that match.
And you dethroned one of the longest running champions in Wrestling for a Cure, Mac Daddy Duds.
Yeah, and what an ending that was too. If anybody else would have pinned him 1, 2, 3, I think it would have still been a really cool ending. But to see him, he's always been that Weasley coward kind of guy, but to see him in that moment, he's trapped. He has nowhere to go. He's in that moment where it's, oh man, I'm fading. And his only way of preserving his life is to tap out, I thought it was a very, very cool ending. It was an ending that we all 3 came up with together. It was really cool.
Nice. Apparently Brent is saying that you are the ugliest.
That's not what his wife said. That's weird.
So, God damn. So I'm about to say, somebody better have a bell on that one. Also, apparently Skeletor needs a hug from Sage. So, all right.
Well, I'm not giving out hugs tonight, so you're shitty out of luck there, bro.
Does any of the other cast members have some questions for Sid?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
I don't necessarily know if it's really a question, but that day leading up to the event for Wrestling for a Cure last year, your video to promote the match that night, you could tell in the video as soon as you walked out of your house, you started ramping it up. And as you got out to the car a little bit more, you had the camera turn around, look at your house. All of a sudden, you hit the "This is my WrestleMania" for your closing argument on it. Was that your way of, pitching the match, or was that your way of actually amping yourself up because of the two opponents that you were facing in that triple threat?
That was mostly for anybody who has ever told me that I don't belong. That was 100%. You have handed me lemons and I kept them. I didn't make lemonade. Now I'm busting those motherfuckers off in your eye. 100%, dude. I am a kid from the streets that was told I ain't ever going to be shit. I was a failure in school. I had teachers telling me I ain't going to amount to shit. I dreamed of being a pro wrestler, and that is the only thing that kept me out of jail. And I did a lot of bad things, but that day, walking out of my house, I wanted everybody to see that I came up. I came up. I made something of myself. I'm sober. I've done all this for myself, not just for me, but for the family that I've built. This is my house, my car, and here I am. And I think the very last thing is, oh, well, he did that, but he can't do this. Oh, you did that, but you can't do that, So that was my final fuck you. Watch me. I'm going to go and do this. There's nothing you can do to stop me. And I'm going to have whatever success I dream for, because fuck you. That's why,
Right. It's just weird how a lot of teachers these days do that shit. I went through the same shit. I'm not trying to take it away from you, but I had teachers that told me, you weren't going to go anywhere and everything like that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's ridiculous how teachers act this day and age.
Well, Tyler, you still didn't. I mean, you went to the Army to watch doors.
Guard. You went to the guard.
Guard, yeah, and get the term correct, for God's sake.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Guard doors.
Guard doors.
Yeah, guard doors. Yeah, you got to watch those doors, man. They go.
So, Sid, with that being a personal redemption for you, what would you have to say to any fan that is watching and possibly going through the same scenario and almost caving in to listening to those teachers and possibly giving up on what they want to do, but listening to the negativity? What would you say to them?
Well, okay, so there's a little bit more to what I was saying a little bit ago. So that was also a middle finger to people that tried to keep me out of wrestling. There's a lot of people that tried to sit on his millennial ass. What?
That's me. That's the side. I'm sorry. I like to keep the audience, in the conversation as well, so they feel like they're a part of the show. So if you see a comment light up, it's usually somebody saying something,
Yeah, I'm trying to respond to the comments too.
That one wasn't at you.
All right on. No, so there's been people that have tried to keep me out of wrestling as well, and especially when it came to Wrestling for a Cure. Rumors got started. You know what I mean? And rumors can be ugly and vicious, and they can tear you apart. And we're living in a day and age where the teeny tiniest little thing, you're canceled, you're done. You're over.
Yeah.
And so also that was my big fuck you to them, because my first Wrestling for a Cure that I worked, I knew nothing. I was a part of RCW, and they were coming to Wrestling for a Cure, and I was a part of it. Fuck you, Tyler.
Yeah, that's me. Sid's no millennial. That's a goddamn silverback gorilla.
That feels a little racist, but sure.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
No, you're good. So yeah, it was, that promo was also specifically to those people as well, the ones that tried to say that I was specifically one person really in his little circle of people tried to fuck up my career, and it almost fucked up things with me with Wrestling for a Cure. And I had no idea that Wrestling for a Cure was going to mean anything to me. I participated that first year. I heard the cause, and then I started doing my own research. And when you do your own research, I am one of those people. I'm a knowledgeable person. You know, give me more. Like if you ever message with me, I spell out my words. I use punctuation, you know, because intelligence is fucking sexy. So anyway, I did my own research on St. Jude and the statistics and stuff. And dude, when I started like hearing these things and breaking them down, hi boo, that shit really started to pull at me, you know. And then as a father, the thought that I had as a dad was, I get to come home every single day and I get to hug and kiss on my children. I can't ever imagine having to do that from a hospital bed.
Oh God.
I can't, you know, ever imagine what these people, they're having to be so strong, because if they show weakness to their babies, you know what I mean? That's going to influence them. And I just started really thinking about it, and I was like, damn, they're really doing something with this, man. You know, and then it almost got taken away from me. So that promo was my big fuck you. I made it. You can't keep me down. And to anybody that's watching this, that's going through similar shit, if people are making up things about you, if they're trying to keep you down, if they're saying you're not gonna, I'm telling you right now that what they're doing is they're handing you lemons. And I know that I just said this, but don't try to make lemonade out of them. Keep them. And as you're growing and you're building yourself and you're getting better, bust those motherfuckers off right in their eye. Remind them that they weren't there when it mattered. They tried to hold you down. They this, they that. You know what I mean? That's your motivation right there. You stand up on your own 2 feet, because fuck them. They don't want you to stand up on your own 2 feet. They want to keep you down on your knees. So you get up on your own, and then when you do, and the people come around, because they always do, they're funny like that, right? Yep. They're going to come around doing this.
Yeah.
As soon as they do, you can be like, fuck you.
That reminds me after our first season when people told us that we weren't gonna make nothing, we weren't gonna raise nothing, nobody cared, no one gave a shit. And when we did under 11,000 and St. Jude come calling and told us we could start using their logo, all of a sudden, hey man, I was supporting you the whole way. I was there with you.
Right.
I didn't see you anywhere, motherfucker.
Right.
Now we actually have a question from the. Go ahead, Sid. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna put a little cherry on that by saying that there's gonna be those people too that think that they come in and they do one show and they've contributed so much.
Hit the bell, damn it.
Sage, can you hit the bell, please? Thank you. Dude, the only time I missed Wrestling for a Cure was season 7 or so. That's because I had to work. I've tried to make every Wrestling for a Cure. Last year, they were offering $1,000 handout to people who didn't call in, use vacation, or any of that stuff in the month of July. And I was like, well, I'm not getting $1,000 from work, then I'm going to volunteer. Yeah. I walked out on
practically gave you everything under the sun to have you come into work, and you turned it down.
I'm part of the cause. You know, I want to bring awareness to the organization. We do have a question in the chat room. Justin Morgan wants to know, what is your favorite part about being a wrestler?
Oh, dude, there's a picture. I want to say, okay, so it's 2020. I'm literally days away from going to Japan. Days away. I'm getting ready to go to Japan. I'm supposed to do a 3-month stretch in Japan. So it's March of 2020. The whole world shuts the fuck down. The person that I was communicating with, he was a segue between me and the Japanese promoters that I was talking to and whatnot. So world shuts down. They tell me the only way that this can happen is if I go to a hotel room. I've got to be in this hotel room for 4 weeks. I got to test negative. And then I can do, the events and everything, but I have to do one of those rapid PCR tests every time before I wrestle and stuff. Everywhere I go is masked and everything. And then afterwards, I got to go back to a hotel room for 4 weeks, fly back to the States, be in a hotel room for 4 weeks, test negative. Then I can see my kids. So I said, no, thank you. I will wait until the orders are up. So, So I sat around for 6 months doing a whole lot of nothing, man. But it was cool, dude. It was cool. That's another story for another time. 2020 was actually the best thing could have ever happened to me. I got sober, so in hindsight, it was fantastic. The best part about being a wrestler, I went to a WPW show. This is okay. So I ended up doing a show in Kansas first. That was my first match back after 6 months. And then WPW did an outside show. And oh, dude, the turnout was crazy, right? Crazy turnout. And I was in a championship match with Reed Reigns, who's fucking fantastic talent. He ended up retiring.
Fuck yeah, he is.
Yeah, fantastic. I never got my one-on-one with him, man, and I'll always regret that. Playboy was in it, and Johnny Rocco, who's now the Barbarian.
A former heavyweight champion.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Sure.
He is a former, and we are former stablemates as well. We were in Silver Mountain Mafia together.
Yeah.
Rocco, great dude. Reed Reigns, great dude. So anyway, we have this four-way dance. The promoter of WPW was telling me, like, you know, this is going to be your big moment. And I was like, damn, here we go, you know. But it just so happened the week before that he went ahead and turned the book over to another person, and he wanted to go with the heel. And I think the wrong call was made that day, but I'm not the booker, you know. So Reed went over, which I think was a good call still. There was supposed to be a story there between Reed and I. It never panned out. But to get to the answer to this question, I went through all that just to get to this answer. After my match, there was a guy in the crowd. He's a former wrestler. His name's Nick Melvin. Some of you may or may not know.
Yeah.
He brought his son, his niece, I think somebody else, right? Well, they come over and they get autographs from me and everything. Well, his niece, she has tears on her face. And she comes over to me and she gives me this hug. And somebody captured that picture. I'll have to find that picture. But there's a picture of me with her, and I'm about to hug her. And she goes, "I'm so sorry that you didn't win." And Nick looks at me. He goes, "Dude, she was so upset that you didn't win, and you are her absolute favorite." So the long version of that was my favorite part is being able to touch the lives of some of these kids that come out there. If I can take somebody, and you know, that little girl probably doesn't have a terrible life or anything like that, you know, but if I can take somebody who does and I can bring them out of it for the 10 minutes that I'm on, my job's done.
Now, what year was this when you met?
That was 2020.
2020. Okay.
Yeah, that was man, I want to say June-ish, maybe. July. Okay. Well, March, April, May, June, July. Maybe August
of 2020.
Somewhere in there. Yeah, man. It's every year that I come across it on my memories. It's my favorite thing to come across. And I'll scroll around, see if I can't find it while we're still talking here.
No, I'm actually looking for it right now. That's why I'm asking. So that way.
Oh, yeah, right on. I was in, I had bought this singlet too, right before the world shut down. It was a green paint splat. And it was one of my favorite singlets. And I just that was the first time I was able to ever wear it.
Wow. So you're currently attached with what promotions currently in the area?
So Pinfall, PWA.
It's better to name the ones he's not associated with. It's a shorter list.
Well, you're associated with Illinois Prairie, correct?
Not yet.
Not yet. I do want to knock on that door, though. I wouldn't say that it's a long shot. Yeah. Hey, I'd say it's definitely in the works.
Well, I mean, the boss is right there. I mean,
oh yeah, and I'm a patient man. I know that he's a patient man too. When the stars align, the stars align. You know.
And I know that he's recently been out on injury also, so that's why I haven't knocked on that door yet.
Yeah, it's been tough, man, but I can't wait to debut. I think it's going to be great.
Yep, I know.
Whenever I bring him in, it's going to be special. So,
whatever you bring him in, it's gonna be special. Well, you know it is. I mean,
it'll be well worth it. Trust me.
I can't find that photo for some reason. I missed it.
With the exception of freelance, you actually are either currently with or wrestled for every Fed on the back of our shirt.
Yeah, I haven't. Is
Rocket coming soon?
Is Rocket Pro still associated?
Rocket Pro is not on our shirts.
Okay, Rocket Pro was the only other one that I wanted to get in at, but yeah, all the shirts or all the promotions on the shirt this year.
Because freelance, like I said, I think is the only one. But freelance was talking about you at the last show.
Yeah, and I haven't reached out to him. I really wish that I would.
Look at all that gold. Holy shit.
That's one of my favorite pictures, dude. So kind of a funny story, but my wife and I were in a relationship with another girl. It's another conversation another day. Anyway, she came to that wrestling event with me that day, and I just so happened to be kind of sitting there. There's another wrestler, so she's in front of me, and there's another wrestler that's like on the ropes there. I can't remember what he said to me, but like that is like 2 seconds before I cracked up laughing. So I don't know why my face looked so intense, but I was about ready to bust up laughing. And she just happened to take that picture, and I was like, oh, shit. Well, that's a good picture, you know? So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to use that.
You kind of mentioned something you probably shouldn't have, because this gentleman is in this.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, when you said that, I'm like, tell me Skeletor's away from. No, he's right there.
Can he be on what?
When you had mentioned your wife and the other girl, another story, and Skeletor heard it, and that's all he needs is he jumps in on that.
Yeah,
he's like one of those guys who you don't even say anything. He goes,
I'm fine, broski.
Oh shit!
Oh, bye, broski.
Yeah, that's Skeletor.
Well,
the thing is, Sid's not by.
I was gonna say, it's not me that's the by one, buddy.
You don't care; you'll still try.
All right, so outside of fucking. That's Jesus Christ, Skelly. You're not getting in on this.
Besides, if you've ever seen Sid in gear, you don't want to be anywhere near that fucking package he's fucking smuggling.
I'm not kidding. Sid, let's find a good picture. Let's find a good picture of Sid in gear right here. I got one right here. Well, it's him for the top up, so
he flaunts that goddamn thing proudly.
So, all right. So you just actually had a pretty nasty injury a while back. You just made your return just recently. Your return was at Pinfall, correct?
No. My return that I just did was for Ignite Pro Wrestling. They're out of Herrin, Illinois.
Shout out to Ignite Pro Wrestling, by the way.
Yeah, real cool. I just debuted for them too. Real cool place. And then
no added pressure or anything. You know, you're just back from a head injury, and hey, here's your debut for us too.
Yeah. So then this Saturday I'll be back in Springfield for Pinfall. And no more tag. I'm going solo, doing my own little venture. Mike and I were looking like, you know, we had times where we were about to start getting hot. We were kind of in the title chase there, and then things would kind of dial back. And Mike's going through some personal things. I do wish him the best. Unfortunately, we're not on speaking terms right now. I don't know why, to be honest with you. But I am going to be flying solo in Pinfall, and I can't tell you how hyped I am for that.
That's good. They need a strong solo, good strong solo person.
I agree. And you know, there's
in there.
What are we loading up now? Oh yeah, so that's Jake there with me.
I just want to pull it up so it's a good shot of you full body. You're like a fucking Hulk, for God's sakes. If you don't know, Sid is on the right. On the left is who is that?
That's Jake Prater.
Sid
That's before we started tagging. So somebody actually made this photo and sent it to me and was like, "You guys could pass as twins." And I was like, well, "I'm the fucking more handsome one."
And you're the more. I'm sorry. All respect to Jake, but you're also the more in shape. He's got the peaches kind of hanging over the suspenders there. No offense, Jake. Don't hit me.
You know, with that photo there is something that I like to point out is in wrestling, to any fans that watch, wrestling is always evolving, and it's always reinventing itself with characters. So when someone says, "Oh, well, this person's mimicking this one," or "This one's taken from this one," look, with it, as long as wrestling's been around and characters have been developed, you're gonna see bits and pieces. Now, if they do a complete copy, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But reinventing and making a character that may have traits could also be paying homage to wrestlers in the past. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of wrestlers that use bandanas. But I want to note that what Sid has done is something that I haven't seen on any other wrestler. And I've watched a lot of fucking wrestling, okay? You taking them, triangling, and upside down for your knee, actually block out, because everyone sees the knee pads, and I always like those to be hidden or something to be interwoven or part of the gear. And how you've done it, I like that. And seeing something completely different, I love to see where people get inventive and incorporate that in their gear.
I wish I could take credit for that. That actually came when I was a part of No Coast.
Yeah,
Joey Blues and Brian, they did it, and so when Mike and I kind of decided we were going to be the secondary tag team of the group, we started doing the bandanas. Also, I found the picture. I'm going to try to send this to you real quick.
Okay. I'm sitting here. See, I got you. I also sent you a link to the show in case you want to share it on your wall. So.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah. Skeletor, that's not how that works. That's not how that I was trying so hard not to bring that up. Damn it, I passed by that picture like 14 times. I remember seeing this. I didn't think that was it. There's that photo.
That's it, man. I'm in her ear and I'm telling her, like, I'm okay and I'll get them next time. That's kind of my go-to. And also shout out to Ashlyn Alexander, who's in the background there. Guys, Ashlyn Alexander started out as like my manager. She lived a couple blocks down the road from me. She was coming to my shows. She wanted to be a wrestler so damn bad. She is literally tonight at AEW.
Oh, really?
No shit.
Yeah. She was just Snapchatting me a little bit ago. Today is her second day with them. She did a little bit of work for them. Where did she? I thought she said up in Wisconsin, but now she's doing some work for them in St. Louis.
Can you say what kind of work she's doing for AEW? Like, is she?
I know that she's not she wasn't on a televised match last time. I have no idea what today's going to bring. I know I'm going to hear from her. But she actually got me the name of somebody for me to reach out as well. And there's kind of that part of me that's like, oh man, I'm going on 34 now, and I'm not quite as in that picture that you shared. I'm still in decent shape, but I'm like, man, am I still in that good a shape? If I could hit the gym real hard and lose 20 pounds, I'd be so fucking confident. But yeah, I don't know if she's going to be doing a televised match tonight or not. I know that she is in constant contact with Sky Blue. That's her name, right? Sky Blue.
Yeah.
And then she got to work with very slightly. She got to work with Jordan Grace. I think that was 2-3 days ago.
Nice.
So yeah, she's doing some huge things, man. And she started out wearing those camouflage pink pants as my manager. So it's really cool to see what she's going. But
just goes to show you that in the wrestling world, if you start out small and you work hard enough, eventually you can get to where you can get to like the big leagues and stuff like that. Or you could be like some people I know who are just fine with where they're at. They're like, look, I'm here in my hometown. I'm with my people. I don't want to go nationwide, because I've seen Sage wrestle. Sage is very good. I've seen you wrestle. You're very good. Will Height, 2 years ago, got in the ring with Sage. He hadn't been in the ring since, and you could tell he still got it. He still got it. Sometimes your apex is right where you want to be. And for a lot of people, it's right there. You know,
man, I did a lot of cool things before the world shut down. And what happened is the world shut down. I got sober. I fell in love. I had another kid. Wrestling no longer became everything. So it became my secondary at that point, which opened my eyes a lot too, because I had already had 3 kids at that point, you know. So I was like, dude, what was I doing? You know,
a damn overachiever. They put a lock on that thing.
Oh, I've heard that a lot, man. Yeah, and some people will be like, you know what causes that, right? And I'm like, yeah, my disdain for condoms and a weak pull-out game. I know.
Oh, God. Are we sure this isn't? Yeah, there he is. He's like, you want?
There he is.
Yeah. Skeletor just had twins with one girl and a single with the other.
Always tell people never sleep on an indie show. One of the greatest matches I ever saw was in a damn junior high. And these guys are pro now. It was AJ Styles and I always brain fart on his damn name. Shit. What's one of the guys in the Shield? Blonde hair.
Seth.
Seth Rollins. Yes. Oh, that's when he was Tyler Black. Yeah,
he was Tyler Black. Dude, those two put on one of the most phenomenal matches in a freaking junior high school gym.
Yeah.
And these guys, man, you know, they don't just – it's not like the old days where they start off at the WCW power plant or, you know, they already got a meal ticket in OVW and this is how they got to the WWE. These a lot of these guys are starting off in indie feds. And then the next thing you know, they get their breaks. So, you know, who you may see at PWA or Prairieland or, you know, NGW are the same individuals that all of a sudden you turn on a TV and it's like, oh, shit, there's Roscoe with AEW. And they're wrestling in Springfield. You know, so you never know. Shit. I'm bad with names. Kane wrestled with Frank Reed.
Yeah, he was. And funny story about that too. I did not fucking believe that for the life of me, dude. I was like, ain't no way. And they kept talking about it. And Mark, he would talk about it. And I'm like, whatever. And then randomly one day, I kind of accidentally blurted it out. I was like, okay, you know, and Mark's like, you don't believe me? And I was like, I believe that you knew him, you know. I was like, but, you know, you guys being best friends and everything. And he's like, kid, watch this. Pulls his phone out and fucking FaceTimes him right in front of me. I was like, God damn.
Open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah,
right.
I was like,
I've actually
eating a shit sandwich.
I've actually seen the videos of Angus versus several different people from RCW. While he was working RCW.
It was his oldest boy. His name Randy, I think.
Frank's oldest boy is Ron.
Ron sent me a video of Kane working RCW way back. And I was like, well, fuck, there, you know.
So,
him again.
Don't feel bad because the first time I worked with Frank and they were all sitting there talking, I was like, you full of shit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like he had a collection of these old tapes of VHS that he converted over into DVD and he popped one in and I was like, wow, dude, I will never fucking doubt you again.
Right.
Yeah. He actually made and sold some of the old Kane DVDs of Angus King.
Yep.
Angus Kane.
Angus King, K-I-N-G.
Angus King, thank you. Angus King. Actually brings up a good point that Will Height mentioned, his best match he ever seen. What is the best match you've ever, and this is for all the wrestling aficionados in here, what's the best match you've ever been in? Or, because we know Will Heights said the best match he's ever seen, but what's the best match you've ever been in? Or for Bubba, what's the best match you've ever seen? We'll start with Sid, because I'd like to know this one. Best match you've ever seen or been in?
My absolute best and favorite match, OVW talent right now, his name is Joey Avalon. Oh my God, dude!
That dude's good.
Before him, I had some really good matches that I was always like, this is a great match. That's a great match. This is a great match. But Joey Avalon and I, for IWA Productions, I defended the heavyweight championship. We put on a classic, dude. We went out in the crowd a little bit. I really like that out in the crowd stuff, working close to the fans and stuff. And oh man, he worked nice and snug. I felt when he hit me, it was great. It was such a wonderful match, and we told one great story. We get to the back, and I immediately was just like, bro, bring it in, because that was the shit. Like, thank you so much. Besides him, Chad Rockman and Gino Rivera. Gino Rivera's all over the place, too. So he's probably a very well-known talent.
All right, now, Sage, what was your best match and your favorite match you've ever seen?
Without saying, obviously, Jason Wells and the hardcore shit that we've done over the years, I'm going to have to say it's a toss-up between working Guy Smith.
Yes.
Because me and him have had great... And the thing about Guy Smith, like me and Wells, we'd get in there and we'd fight. So it wasn't a wrestling match. We'd just fucking beat each other's asses. With Guy Smith, I got to do something that I don't get to do a whole lot, which is actually show that I can fucking wrestle. And that's great because I love to actually wrestle. I can fucking out wrestle most of the fucking people I know. And I don't get to show that a whole lot. So Guy Smith challenged me every time I got in the ring. And that's what I absolutely loved.
Okay.
So getting down and going hold for hold and everything else, Guy Smith brought that out of me every goddamn time. And I absolutely loved every time we hooked up. And we'd do 30-minute matches every goddamn time. And he had run my dick off. It was fucking, it was ridiculous. Every time I defended the heavyweight title against him or he was defending against me. And we're talking over a fucking 15-year span between matches and shit. Even one time at the Verdun Picnic, whenever I beat him for the Verdun Picnic Championship, the Unfair Games Championship, if you will, which I am still currently the Verdun Picnic.
Wait. How long ago was this?
I am currently the reigning Picnic champion, which I won back at George Ranks.
Did you say Picnic?
Well, it's called Unfair Games.
Okay.
And I am currently that champion, and I won it back at George Ranks the year that we did the outside show there, Jason.
Yeah, that would have been 2019.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
I've been that champion for that long.
Wow. Now, Jay, you mentioned the best match you've seen. Now, what's the best match you've ever been in?
So there's a couple. If you go tag, now it's people are going to be like, it's obvious. But Sage and I were teamed up. This was before the Solution, and it was Maximum Destruction. And we did a tornado tag against Sigma Omega Beta, SOB. And that was Toga Steve and Garrett Ryan. Dude, Toga is a legend. God rest his soul. And Garrett was this guy who worked in a prison. And, I mean, he was fucking built. And, dude, you talk about an absolute storm.
Pretty sure he couldn't wipe his own ass.
Yeah, I don't think he could. We went in the crowd. We went through the building. We went through the back, out the back, through the side. This was on Bradfordton, and we, for 30-plus minutes, beat the fuck out of each other. And I look, I'm a Marine veteran, so I love physical, and that was a dream for me. Now, when it comes to singles, he's actually in here right now, and that's Brent. It was down at RCW in Litchfield, and I can't say Sage because I already got the tag with them, but when it came to singles, they were like, hey, man, you're going to be in there with this guy called Rage. Man, he's kind of physical. And I was like, fuck it, whatever. And it was the first time I met him, and he comes walking in, and they're like, hey, dude, you're going up against Wells. The first thing he says is, Well, he does know that I'm stiff, right? And I'm like, oh, wow, that dick move. And they look at him. It's like, hey, don't worry, man. Wells is a Marine. He was like, oh, cool. He can take a punch. That calm and cool about it. Yeah, he can take a punch then. Like, damn, not even going to fucking care about it, huh? We get out there, and the first thing, bell rings. I'm ready to go. He jumps out the ring. Here comes a fucking ladder. Here comes chairs. I was like, damn, dude, we ain't going to ease into this. Just hello, right up the, back in there. And he was like, yeah, this is how we're doing it. And at first I was like, holy shit, you kind of build this up. You don't just surprise and jam it in. But yeah, so we started
need that lube
fighting, and he was like, just go with it. And it was probably one of the bloodiest, and Sage and I have had some bloody matches, but it was probably one of the bloodiest matches. I don't even think we finished. I think the locker room had to come clear. My nose got broke, and I had all the blood coming down. Sage took super glue and just glued my nose back together.
I also straightened that bitch too.
Yeah. Afterwards, everyone's like, "Hey, dude, we get to the back, and they're still trying to break us up, thinking we're going to kill each other." And fucking Rage looks over and he's like, "Dude, that's what I'm fucking talking about. That's what I mean." I'm like, that was fucking awesome. Let's go again.
All right, so Bubba, you're unfortunately not a wrestler, but you are part of the conversation. What is the best match you've ever seen? Like, let's do locals. I know you watch a lot of the WWE, the AEW.
I can't just narrow it down to a match. I just love the most violent and bloody matches are my favorite.
So you're like more of the hardcore kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and Klug, you've had to have seen a shit ton of matches. There's got to be one that's.
I've seen a shit ton of matches, but I don't remember a lot of them because you got to keep in mind, I'm working the entire time the show is going on.
Yeah, you are.
I'm constantly getting music ready for the beginning of a match, end of a match, and etc.
And people telling him, "Oh, I need this cue. I need this cue. I need this."
Plus, I have people coming up to me during a match saying, "Oh, hey, well, I need you to do this for me and this and this." So I don't really get much time to enjoy the matches.
Right. I'd say the best match I've ever seen. It's a tie between when Sid won the title at Wrestling for a Cure last year and my first time when I saw Sage and Douglas O'Shea in that straight up
shit, yes.
Yes.
Which one of you two got hit with the keyboard, the computer keyboard?
I think that was.
I got hit with the keyboard.
That was you that got hit with that thing?
Yeah.
So they're on like this side of the ring. I'm over here selling merch. I'm a good, dude, I've got to be about 20 feet away. He hit him so fucking hard with that keyboard. Keys from that keyboard were over by my merch table.
Oh, you were on the opposite side of the ring too.
Opposite side on my merch table. It hit and flew up and over and landed in front of my merch. I was like, what the fuck happened? At first I thought it was a tooth, and then I realized it was computer keys.
Yeah. I got hit with that right directly in the fucking melon.
Yeah.
And I didn't have hands up or anything because I don't put hands up. I'm stupid.
And
he just fucking whacked the shit out of me. And he did it backwards to where the keys were facing out.
Oh, okay.
So the keys just popped and went. And the keyboard was bent over my head.
Oh, man, it was so loud.
So who was the one who got smacked with the plate that just came out of nowhere? Because, you were the dude.
Yeah, that was
plate.
me too.
God,
that plate was so fucking hard.
who was it? It was somebody. It was Keith.
Somebody brought those plates to that show and donated those plates for that match. And I don't know what those plates were made out of, but goddamn, they were not fucking plastic. There was like some legit plastic plates, and then there were some that were legit plastic plates.
But kind made at school cafeteria so they don't break.
And the funny part was Keith. This was back on the old show we were on. Keith got you to sign it, and I think he still has that because he took it home. And I looked at that plate. I'm like, how in the fuck did they bust that son of a bitch over his head without him just dropping?
Oh, I kind of dropped ish. Oh, I stumbled at least. And I was just like, I don't know what the fuck he hit me with, but god damn, that was hard as shit. And my head hurt so fucking bad.
Oh, dude.
But
it had to.
It never cut me open or anything. And I figured that plate would have done it because he hit me with one and then he hit me with another one.
Guitar.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, I just realized what his fucking name is. Huge Unit.
There's two of them here. There's huge unit, and huge asshole.
Huge asshole.
Yeah. Well, a bunch of huges here. Yeah. I have been in a match, but it was more.
And then, of course, at the end, I twisted T the shit out of his ass.
Yeah. And I kind of have been in a match, but it was more of a fuck around and find out where I just got my ass beat by Sage for like 30 seconds, and then he mercy tossed me.
Well,
Yeah, it's the
you
last
gave
time
him a fucking warm iced tea.
It's the last time I ever do that.
Yeah.
About killed my
hand
ass.
to man.
Yeah.
A fucking warm, twisted tea. Never do it.
So, does
Things get twisted.
anybody else have any questions for Sid before I ask him a few more?
I'm just gonna have to know his schedule sometime, so I'm gonna need that schedule for next year.
Oh yeah.
And
Business conversation.
well, not so much business. Just whenever he gets a chance, send me the schedule.
Right on.
So that I can get his ass into Prairie Land and we can do some good work.
Absolutely.
Good work.
Absolutely.
So, outside of wrestling, you're an EMT, correct?
That's correct.
All right, you are. That's basically you're the first responders.
Mhm.
Are you able to talk about that? Because I know some people do. Some people can, and some people can't because of like what is it?
Patient.
Like and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Right? So you drive. You live down in, I believe, Quincy. Is it
Quincy? Yep.
Quincy? So you're an ambulance driver, or you're basically a first responder.
Oh man, we always joke all the time that we're just ambulance drivers, but dude, as an EMT, there's a lot that I can do. I mean, there's a lot. I'm not a paramedic, so I can't push narcotics. I can't start a line on you.
Okay.
So, I mean, those are two things. And I also can't interpret. So like I can hook you up to a 12 lead and get a picture of your heart and I can send it to the hospital if I don't have a paramedic with me. But paramedics, they can interpret heart rhythms. They can start lines and push numbers. That's not like the entire. They also can intubate, but we can intubate as well. Just we use a different tool. We use eye gels rather than. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I can do. I mean, when I pitch myself to some of these organizations and I'm saying, "Hey, I'd love to come in and work your show," I always throw that in as well. I'm also a licensed EMT. I come with a EMR bag that I bring with me every time. So if something happens, I'm able to help the person. I got splints. I've got blood pressure cuff. I've got glucometer. I've got all these things, so I can, be right there to take care of a person. And it just so happened that the EMT needed an EMT.
Yeah, so what we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we got sidetracked.
Wow.
What was with your injury? You suffered concussion? How'd that happen?
Yeah, so funny enough, Ashlyn Alexander, her and I have been going back and forth for it's had to have been a year or so now where we've been, I want to wrestle with you. I want to wrestle with you. Let's see what we can make happen. We had one date lined up for NGW and then it didn't pan out. And then she hit me up out of the blue and was like, "Hey, can you make this date for CHWA?" I had never worked for CHWA, so it was never really a thought, And I was like, "Oh yeah, Josh asked me about it too. Like, I'm trying to see if I can get somebody to cover it. Why? What's up?" And she told me, she goes, "Well, if you can get it covered, you're working me." And I was like, "Give me 10 minutes." Got it covered. And so, yeah, her and I kept telling her, I was like, "Listen, kid, I don't plan matches. I don't do that shit anymore." Yeah, I stopped doing that a long time ago. I don't want to plan my match. And
Thank
she was super nervous because she is so used to planning. And
Wow, Jen, hope it's okay.
container of cheese. Can you
Yeah.
bring that back?
Yeah.
A container of cheese hit him in the back of his head. It worked.
Was it like one of those like fucking metal gallon containers of cheese that fucking
God
fell off
damn.
a shelf or something?
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh. That was just funny. But you also got to realize I see some crazy shit all the time. So somebody getting hit with a block of
Oh
cheese.
shit!
Damn.
It shattered the acrylic.
Wow.
Nice.
That is a shot.
Wow.
No wonder he got a concussion. Damn.
Yeah. So last minute, we're there's a match going on first, and so I finally decided. She's so nervous. She's like, I don't want to call stuff out there. Are you sure you don't want to plan? And I was like, we're not planning shit, kid. Go out there and listen to me. Last minute, I pulled her to the side and was like, listen, here's some stuff that we're gonna do, and I kind of did it real quick, and I was like, I will call everything again when we're in the ring, but here's what we're gonna do. And we went over it real quick, went out there, and we were doing it and everything. And then there was a moment where we were supposed to be outside the ring together there. And she went for a kick to the back of my head. I was expecting a push kick, and instead she gave me a side kick, and it just blasted back of the head too. So it got me right in the back of the head. There's a boxer. His name's escaping me right now. Rather famous though. He took a couple shots to the back of his head during a fight, and he's now paralyzed for life.
Oh, are you talking about the boxer or the mixed martial? Or you?
No, he was a boxer. He was like I know he was a Latin American guy.
I think I know who you're talking about. Let me look it up.
Yeah, man, he was in a boxing match against this other dude, and he got hit in the back of the head a couple of times actually, and it caused a brain bleed, and then it ended up causing permanent paralysis.
Pritchard Colon.
There you go, Pritchard Colon.
Yeah, that is and the thing is too, is the ref, everybody's saying too, the ref should have stopped it.
100%.
But the ref never did. It is
100%.
a horrible video to watch.
Well, there's a lot to that too. His team should have threw in the towel. Yeah, there's a lot that went on there. The judges should have had the fight stop. There's a lot that I think that there was somebody on the end on that one.
I don't think judges can stop a fight.
They can. If it, especially with something like UFC or boxing, for example, if the boxers start going way too out of line and they're like, the bell's been rung and they're still swinging for some reason, or they're hitting an area they shouldn't hit.
I didn't think boxing you could do shots to the back of the head.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to.
That's how.
I mean, here, I'll bring it up. Look at this. This is ridiculous. I think this is the moment where Sid's talking about. Watch this. Just
boing.
There's one missed. Oh wait, that's a
different fight.
That's a different fight. There's one I know, and it shows the moment.
That dude turned white. Or turned black. What the hell?
Where is it? I'm going to find it here in a minute. So, all right. So you get basically
he knocked him a different color,
planted in the back of the head.
Yeah. So same injury as Pritchard, basically. Only mine was very minimal compared. So yeah, I immediately. I also was staying on the couch with my friend Brooke, and the whole time that I'm on my way to her place, she called me to kind of talk to me so that I would make sure that. And she said the whole time she was on the phone with me, "Yeah, dude, did you see how many shots he took in the back of the head?
Boom, right there, really hard."
But he even pointed it out.
Yeah, and he kept going for it all through the match. And they said by the fifth round, the guy was starting to like slow down more in his responses. Yeah, it was bad. And then it went out of control real fast. And unfortunately, a guy did lose his career and is now restricted to literally, because he nailed him in the back of the head. I'll bring up the part where the actually damage was done. Nailed him in the back of the head once, and then the guy responded. Pritchard Colon responded by hitting Terrell Williams in the genitals. And then this is what happened after that. this is, I think, the moment where the most damage was done, if I recall. Because, see, they stopped the match, and
here it is.
right
Boom.
there, boom,
Yeah.
One. Yeah, that was it.
That was the moment that he decided he was done.
Yep. And I think that was actually it, because they tried a couple other times, but he just something right there, boom.
Oh,
and that's after several shots.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the next morning he was paralyzed.
Yep, and it's affected it. He went into a coma, I think, for 2 or 3 months there, and he's come out now. He has, learning disability, and he can't speak, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, because that was just the first. That was like the second hit. There was like 5 other hits through the night. They say this one here is the one that did the most damage.
Oh yeah,
that one right there. That's the one that did the most damage.
yeah, that should have been stopped really early, because you're not supposed to give shots to the back of the head. So that referee was not doing his job.
And this was 6 years ago when this whole thing went down, and finally boxing and UFC both agreed no smacks to the back of the head like that. The ref has the potential and the ability to call a match if that happens.
That's hitting right there at the where the spine meets the skull and everything.
Yeah,
so
that's your brainstem there.
Yeah, that's the words I was looking for. Thank you, Sid.
All right, so
essentially the exact same injury. I mean, only mine was nowhere near as severe. I'm going to send you that video of the kick. But damn, dude, I'll be damned if it wasn't. She kicked me, and I turned around to walk away, and I saw stars immediately. And it was black. It was like a TV screen with the static on it,
Uh-huh.
Us older guys, we're going to know what we're talking about. Younger people probably have no idea. But on the TV, dude, it was just like that, man.
You say us older guys, and you're only 34.
I know, right? But I mean, I was born at a good time, though. I kind of got to see the transition. So I still got to experience some of the shit. But
all right, here is
he got to see the ring.
Here's a video of Sid taking the hit. Let's see.
Oh shit! Her foot wrapped around your melon.
So I'm shaking the cobwebs off. I'm trying to. You can see, like, I'm no longer there.
Is that Vanessa?
No, that's Ashley Alexander.
And that sound you're hearing, that thud, that is boot to skull.
It was so hard.
Holy
so you can see with the way that I turned my face, I was expecting a kick here to the side. So I was waiting so I could, like that. And she went. So it's not her fault, man. It's not anybody's fault. I've made sure to tell her that too. Like, dude, it's not your fault. So you can see a little trick in wrestling. I had my hand coming up here, so you can see my other hand coming up to my jaw. I was going to protect. I was not expecting the back of my head at all.
Was that Vanessa?
What's that?
Was that girl? Was that her name, Vanessa?
No, that's Ashton Alexander.
Oh,
Ashley Alexander.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's an instance when kick pads don't work.
Yeah, right. Yeah, dude, man. Immediately saw stars, and then I can remember some things about the match. The ref was telling us he's telling us 2 minutes, and my concussed, fucked up head, I'm thinking that he's telling me we've only been going for 2 minutes.
Oh shit, we gotta go another 10 to 12.
Yeah, dude. And then
me and Will have both been there.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh fuck, I really need to stretch this out.
Wow.
So then at some point he tells me, I'm picking her up for something, and he goes, "You guys got to go home. You got to go home." And I'm like, "Really? You just told me I had like 15, And so anyway, I pick her up and I go, "I think we got to go home." And she goes, "Yeah, he just said that to me too." So I was like, "All right, let's go home." So We did. I remember getting into the back and laying down. I remember the room spinning really, really fast. And like I said, Brooke, who's also a big part of Wrestling for a Cure, her roommate and her let me crash on her couch every now and again. I get too tired to drive back home, fellas. It just sucks.
Right.
So she, they were letting me bum on their couch. So I'm driving there. Brooke calls me and goes, "Where are you?" Because I had my location on for her. And she goes, "You're going the wrong fucking way." And I'm like, "Oh shit, man." So, like we end up figuring me out, getting me back on track. I guess I'm rambling on about a bunch of random shit. And she's like, "Well, you're going to be here soon. It's going to be cool." And the only thing that I can get out, like, I don't remember any of these conversations. She filled me in later. But I tell her, I was like, "Listen, by the time I get there, there better be a fucking Wisconsin 6 cheese pizza waiting for me." So she did, dude. She got on the Papa John's app and ordered me a Wisconsin 6 cheese pizza.
That's Brooke.
That's a true fucking friend right there.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I was stoked, man. I was like, "Thank you so much." It was so cool. I remember literally eating that and then passing. Her roommate went and got me a big old bag of ice too. And I put that on the back of my neck and was just laying. I fell asleep on that ice. But I remember laying there eating pizza as I'm laying down. Just like, oh no.
You look at a picture of Michelangelo.
Yeah, dude. It was a very great ending to a terrible incident.
And look, I'm not saying that, Brooke is only good for food, because that's not the case. But she went to Taco Gringo at PWA a couple shows before.
Yeah, she
And
did.
she was like, "Man, I'm going to Taco Gringo." And I was like, "Man, this is bullshit. I want some 2 Super Sanchos mild. Fuck." And I said it jokingly. And all of a sudden she comes back. She's got her food and she hands me this bag. I was like, "Well, what the fuck is this?" She goes, "It's 2 Super Sanchos mild." Like, what the fuck? So I'm that dude over there with my food, doing my merch table and shit.
Brent says, "I remember having to keep Sid calm and Quincy. Forgot the other guy, but they was really going to kill each other. I was the only one willing to step in." Remember that, Sid?
I sure do. And I'm glad that you can't remember his name because he's not worth bringing up.
Okay.
I know.
But yeah, Brent did a really good thing, man. I'll be honest with you, dude. When I first met Brent, I kind of was like, "I'm an asshole. He's an asshole. We're going to keep our fucking distance, And then I had real life heat with this other guy, and it started to boil over. And if you guys know me, dude, in my real life and my personal life, I can be quite a hothead. Like I said, dude, I came up in the middle of the fucking ghetto. Sometimes it's put your hands up, fuck it, let's go. I can be a hothead. So I was like, "Fuck it, let's go, dude." And, I was trying to do my thing. And Brent, I remember him stepping in between. And he was like, "There'll be none of that tonight," or something like that. He's like, you got kids here watching. There's families here watching the both of you, and we're not going to do all that." So I was like, "All right, fair enough." I remember Frank ended up making the other person come out and shake my hand. So
Now, can I ask you, was this person part of your faction at one time?
No, actually, but he was part of that friend group. I believe he was a part of that faction at one point, just not at the same time as me.
Okay, did his wrestling gimmick have 2 letters in front of it?
No.
Okay, so it's not DC Shaw.
No, that is my former tag partner. He was my very first ever tag partner. I don't bring him up ever either because he's the one that made the false accusation about me.
Okay.
He's the one that made that claim that something inappropriate happened with me and a 17-year-old girl. And so
what is it with the wrestling world, specifically in this area, where people make these stupid accusations that are false or proven false, and they still carry them? I'm not pointing names, but I know somebody who's going through that shit.
Back in the day, if you had beef with each other,
Yeah.
You would go outside and talk man to man, woman, whatever, and fucking just put them up.
Right. Just
that's
like
what I wanted to happen. I wanted that to happen so bad. But he's always the type that was, I'll call the cops, and you know what I mean.
And so nowadays you have social media, and whoever gets their story out first, everyone wants to believe that instead of getting both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So your telephone tough guys has become the
keyboard warriors.
The cool thing is he pointed fingers at a very specific girl, and I'm not going to bring her name up.
Right.
She deserves her anonymity. But he pointed fingers at her. This happened between Sid and her. And she goes, no, what the fuck are you talking about? And so when she started dismissing claims, that's when bookers were like, okay, I don't believe him anymore, you know? So I was like, thank you. Thank you for at least hearing me out. I mean, it took a while to get my name cleared and everything, but
it still costed you a good 6 months though, didn't it?
It cost me around about 4 or 5 months, but it was only with certain promotions. So like other promotions were real quick to be like, fuck that. I've heard everything under the sun. Until you are convicted, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, cool. And I'll name drop one specifically, MMWA over in Missouri. At the time, it wasn't Tony running it. It was, oh, God damn it.
That's pretty cool. Until convicted. That's good.
That's a good saying. That's how it should be. Is like you hear these rumors until the person's convicted.
Yeah.
The facts actually come out until the law gets involved and say, okay,
write that down.
Happened. Yeah. That should be a thing.
For the life of me, can't remember his name though. But man, I'll never forget. I'll have to get back to you on that. My brain's real weird these days. But he was the booker for MMWA at the time. And we had talked, and he was the one that was like, until you're convicted, I don't care. I just don't want to hear this again. And I was like, look, man, the person that he pointed the finger to, I can literally get you in touch with her, or better yet, here's these screenshots. You know, here's her on a Facebook Live herself saying that this never happened, you know. And he was quick to be like, you're good. And MMWA was really good to me. So I'll never forget MMWA for that. Now, unfortunately, Tony ended up passing, and I can't remember the name of the booker at the time, but he ended up moving on to other things too. And my relationship with Tony Jr., his nephew, ended up souring, but MMWA always holds a very special place to me because of that.
Okay. So what's been your favorite promotion that you've worked at?
Wrestling for a Cure. That's easy.
Wrestling for a Cure. That's easy.
Yeah, man. Hey, before we get too off track about it, I want to say one more thing about the accusation that happened to me. I know that you said you know people that are going through it and stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
That is what was so sweet about this year's main event, because Yoder got to be involved. And unfortunately, he also was blamed. And he had to do the same thing as I did. The only difference between him and I is he stepped completely back. He stepped completely out of wrestling and was like, I'm going to legally take care of this. I was like, fuck that. I did nothing wrong. I'm going to keep wrestling, you know, and I'm going to fight it legally and everything. As where he was like, this needs to take 100% focus. I need to clear my name. So him and I both were able to clear our names and be in the main event of Wrestling for a Cure. And that is fucking poetic.
It's just Yoder went full out, dude. He stepped away for a year.
Wow.
He did a shit ton of court and lawsuits. And when it came back not guilty, there's no fucking arguing at that point. There's no speculation anymore. It's completely done. So yeah, I can see where Sid's coming from, because now that main event, you got two people that almost lost their career over it and fought to get back. And you got one that is going through it and has got the legal process started. So I can't wait till those lawsuits really come down.
No kidding. Because I know one, and it's like it's a horrible situation, and it's like when that lawsuit starts up, I hope the accuser loses everything because it's been handled, settled, all that shit. But it still comes up. And it's like, why the fuck does this keep coming up? Yeah. Why is it that?
Well, I think they might have.
But nothing has been said forever now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead,
that's what I was getting at, because after that last show that the individual wrestled, I've been looking around and I ain't heard no one talking shit. So I think they finally got it through their fucking head.
Either they got it through their head, or they're so small in either the wrestling community or as part of the wrestling business themselves, they only spot it whenever a big event like Wrestling for a Cure pops up, and that's when they started because they're wanting to bust a bubble. You know, it's stupid. I'm with Sid. It's like, look, you got beef, go outside and settle it. I mean, this whole accusation bullshit of, well, it may have been, but I heard this person did this and this person. Unless you got proof, like pictures, or you caught them, or the person's been arrested, unless you're convicted, that's it. You know, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass having to prove myself, having to, and also at the time I was an armed guard, and I drove school bus as well. So, I mean, it almost affected my private life as well. It actually did. One of those jobs came to me and was like, hey, what's up with this? And I was like, it has no basis. I have an attorney. I'm going through the process now. I was like, here's everything that I got, though. I gave them all the screenshots. I even gave them the video of the individual, the girl that they pointed to, saying, nothing inappropriate ever happened with us and everything. I was like, it's literally this one person who said it, these 4 people attached to him that are like, his fucking butt buddies, and they're all running with it, although I will give credit where credit's due. One of them did end up coming out and being like, I thought there was going to be proof. There never came proof, so I'm going to shut up and let it go. However, he did keep calling me untrained, and I think he still calls me untrained, which
really?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. So to his credit, that one specifically, good on you, I guess, because
you could probably outwork him.
I think he's a great talent. Could I outwork him? Maybe. Yeah, probably.
And obviously, you probably don't want to name a lot of these guys in this, and like.
No, and that's the thing, man. Is I made it hard.
They don't deserve their names being mentioned.
Yeah, don't give them credit.
Fair enough.
Right, exactly. Yeah, one of them got named, and that's okay. A lot of people have realized what a shitty person he is, anyway. So, but as for the other people that attached themselves to it and believed it and stuff. Like I said, one of them ended up coming out and being like, I'm gonna shut up about that. I won't bring it up again. However, he's still an untrained piece of shit. And I'm like, okay, but I'll just let my work speak for itself, man. But for the rest of them, dude, I don't wish them bad. 2 of them are still wrestlers doing their thing. I know that they were doing their thing kind of down in Vegas, and I think one of them's getting ready to go to Japan. Dude, fucking cool, man. I'm glad you're tearing it up. We were fucking childhood friends over 20 years. Fucking kill it. I'm so happy for you, but, they don't give a fuck about me, and that's fine, dude, because I'm doing great.
Right. Is Japan, like, the ultimate place to go wrestle at? Because I see a lot of people always talk about that they want to wrestle in Japan. That's the big one. That is the big league.
It's a big opportunity, yes. And
that's a big opportunity.
I almost had that opportunity in 2001, but that's right around the same time I broke my neck, so I couldn't go.
Ooh. So what is it about Japan that makes it the big opportunity? Like, is it the pay? Is it the opportunities to wrestle in other venues?
It's definitely not the pay.
Japan is arguably, if not the third, then the second biggest wrestling community. Because there's the U.S. and then there's UK and then there's Japan.
Okay.
I would venture to say that Japan is bigger wrestling scene than the UK, though.
I would too.
Yeah, definitely.
You got New Japan Pro, which has always been out there, and you've also got I think 01 Japan.
Yep, and then you got Noah, you got All
You got
Japan.
Noah, yeah. And,
There's quite a few other ones too that I'm probably
But they-
going to based on the names, but
they do what is called strong style, and you go out there. They love big Americans because Japanese people are always generally small, so they love to have big people to wrestle against to show their strong style. So you go out there and you get booked on shows, and it helps build you to come back to the States, and you have more eyes on you because you've been featured on what they have out there is called supercards and shit like that.
Okay.
So if you're on supercards out there, then you get more publicity and shit like that, and you come back over to the States, you have more eyes on you. So it really does help you out.
So Japan is the coup de grace. That's like, or not the coup de grace. That's the big times there when it comes to wrestling. You get Japan, you get pretty much taken care of and all that stuff. You can build yourself up. Then you come back to America. You've been trained well enough with the Japanese and all that stuff, and there's more opportunity in America as well.
generally the way that they do it over there in Japan too is you live there at the dojo. You clean, everything. You clean the dojo, the toilets, you do everything, and your payoff is getting to wrestle. And you got to train it's an everyday thing. You know, it's like a mandatory 300 squats and sit-ups, pull-ups, all this shit.
Wow.
You know, before you can even, you know, you got to do all this stuff. So, I mean, it was a big deal when I was in my negotiations to come over. They were going to pay for my flight there. I would stay at the dojo. I was going to spend 3 months there at the dojo. Basically, every day I was the bitch boy. I did all the cleaning and everything. I got 3 hours to myself a day. The rest of the time was spent either there at the dojo cleaning, doing chores, or it was training. And then I got the 3 hours to myself that I was going to get a day. But like I said, the world shut down, so that never happened for me. But that's probably my biggest what if in wrestling is what if I would have been able to go, you know?
Well, that opportunity could return to you at some point, couldn't it?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to take it now. I can't. I
remember what he said earlier.
Yeah.
And see, dude, when I start talking about it, I start to get a little emotional. But, dude, I work 24-hour shifts at work, right? So that means I sleep there at the station. Every once in a while, I'll pick up a secondary shift and I'll do a 48 right in a row. By the time about 36 hours has passed, I miss my kids so much that I'm video calling and I'm like, when can you bring them here to see me? You know what I mean? I can't go 2 days without being a fucking emotional wreck. So thinking of being over there for 3 to 6 months, it kills me. I couldn't do it.
Now, what if they gave you the opportunity? What Japan said, you know, bring your family.
Oh boy. Well,
I don't know if they do that. Do they allow that? Like, if you have family,
that's different because it might be different for him now that he's got a lot more work under his belt. Because like whenever I got my opportunity to go, since I've been professionally trained by Windy City Pro, I was going to get put up in a hotel and everything else for 3 months. I wasn't going to be in a dojo. Okay. Since I already had the credentials from Windy City and I was professionally trained, and they recognized Windy City as a pro wrestling place. So it might be different now for him than it was before.
Right. Yeah, that might be something I could negotiate.
Do you upend your family though? Because his wife's got a job. His kid's gonna have schools.
It'd have to be something he'd have to do it during the summer.
Yeah, it'd have to be a during the summer thing. But again, to that point, you know, my wife works with autistic children. So it'd be very, very hard to, you know, for her to just cut that off and leave those kids. You know, those kids are are very susceptible to certain changes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Brent's saying Japan doesn't really.
Yeah, I know that firsthand. My son's autistic.
Yeah.
Sid,
We deal with
wife
autistics here at the
your wife
daycare.
is Hispanic, isn't she? Latino?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Latino.
So can you imagine her being in Japan and one of them fuckers piss her off? I'm just saying. I'm not saying she's a hothead. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying she's Latino. That's a little different.
She's definitely a hothead. She's not as much of a hothead as me. I'll give her credit. She's a very calm girl.
But you also know where the tipping point is.
Yes, I do. I have found it.
See?
I like to ramp it up and then
stop.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Sid and I do that with my wife because we know there's a line. You know, any woman that volunteers to work at a male prison in Huntsville, Texas, and Falls unit, you don't piss that type of woman off.
Right. That's a bad woman right there, man.
Dude, I know how to get your wife to that line, and I never have crossed it. So
Danger Doug did it. I don't know if Sid ever heard this story.
Oh.
So the wife,
he doesn't even know who Danger Doug is. You got to explain.
So
Danger Doug and how big he is.
6'5", and he just thought he was hot and shit. Just because I'm 6'5". That's the type of attitude. I'm 6'5". Do whatever I want. I'm 6'5".
This motherfucker has actually power bombed my big ass.
So my wife had just moved.
Then I had to power bomb him.
My wife just moved up here. We weren't married yet. We were in the process and engaged. And it was after a show. And this was back when I was part owner of NMW. And we had all our duties. And we had like the Triantron. We really had something good going back then. But we all had little people in charge. And we had a crew. Like one would be on the ring. One would be chairs and tarps. One was barricades. All this. And we were just really slow. And my wife was in one of those moods. She wanted to get home. Maybe I was going to get lucky. So I was trying to get everyone going, and they were just kind of going slow. And finally, my wife was like, look, you motherfuckers need to move. And Danger Doug, like, you can't talk to me like this. I'm 6'5". You're not at my level. My wife grabbed a chair, stood it in front of him, stood on it, got eye to eye, and said, now what, bitch? And at that moment, I was like, I'm marrying that woman. And he shut the fuck up.
I have heard that story so many times, and it never gets old because I met his wife, and his wife gave me the look the first time, like, who the fuck's this crackhead? How the fuck do you know Jason?
That's about right.
I just met her just recently. I think it was, I want to say like 1 or 2 shows ago, I just met her for the first time.
Yeah, she has the shirt that says Boss Lady on it.
And I had a full conversation with her, not knowing that she was your wife. And then she just dropped it on me at the very end. I was like, no shit. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, her looks to kill. I've never really felt daggers until that one where, because just Sid can back me up on this. When you play video games, the old school video games, you had the final boss. Yeah. And the year that Sage won the Rumble was the year we were doing the final boss. And when I walked into that ring, if looks could kill, like I didn't know where my wife was, but I had this sensation that somebody was burning a hole through the back of my dome from back over here. And right before I hit Sage, I turned and looked, and I was like, oh, that's the wife. This is going to be good, but fuck it. I'm in here now. Let's go.
Yeah, literally, he walks in the ring. She gives him the look, and instantly you see the look on her face. You read her whole mind. All you're waiting to hear is
brutality.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Because I thought she was good. I thought she was going to get in the ring and start screaming at him. She looks so pissed off.
She might have, if she would have gotten in the ring, me and Sage might have jumped out, and she would have won by default.
And here's the funny part. Here's the funny part.
No shit.
When Sage eliminated Jay, everyone else is watching. They're like, "Oh my god!" And there's her just.
Yes.
You didn't flinch. Like, there he goes, son of a bitch. He's gonna hurt himself. Now, on that note, Sid, with your wife, obviously, you wrestlers, you have to take your physical conditioning pretty serious. You just came off of a very bad concussion. Jay's wife is very much against the wrestling thing, but what about your wife? Has your wife ever said, just come back in one piece? Or has she said, look, you got hurt pretty bad this time. You need to reevaluate things. Is your wife very supportive of your wrestling career?
So I made a deal with her this last time. I told her that if at any point in time the doctor said, I think you should be done, that I would let her call it. It would be up to her. And she really liked that. Doctor at no point got to the point where he was like, you need to be done. But he did get to a point where he was like, you're definitely not going back for a while, stuff like that. But I'm no longer allowed to do any dives. She has put a stop to that. I really, really like doing my dives. And
they are fun.
Every time that I do it, though, she just freaks out. She's like, what if that person doesn't catch you properly and stuff? And I'm like, are you calling me fat? Like, they're going to catch me, And she's like, oh, I understand. But, what if you come down hard on your neck, re-break your neck?
Trusting you, but she's not trusting your opponent.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah. And there's only been one time where I've ever done a dive and only one person has caught me. And he caught me so well, it was ridiculous. Hi, Alexis. He caught me so well, it was fucking ridiculous. It was literally, he caught me, we hugged on the ground, stood back up and continued the brawl. And I was like, dude, good goddamn catch. That was crazy. But yeah, my other dives have usually been like on groups of people, so but the reason that she's like that is because I had a bad dive one time where I scorpioned. She was like, you're not fucking doing that again. I was like, yes, I am. And so then the next time that I did it, instead of suicide, I went over the top. And she's like, could you imagine Scorpion if you fucking go over the top, And so with this concussion, she's like, no more dives. You're done with dives. I was like, what if I go to the apron and then do like, and she goes, nope, no dives at all. No sentons, no dives. Like, damn.
Wow. She has literally
you can hear the little kid wrestler in them.
Yeah.
But what if I do it this way?
Right.
And then you hear the mom wrestler in there. No swantons, no suicide dive. No, you're done.
And she's also put her foot down on certain things too. So if it involves my head at all, like if somebody's like comes up to me and they're like, let's do I'll come off the top, catch you, and then we'll do a tornado DDT onto a ladder. She's like, absolutely fucking not. It's not going to happen.
Wow.
So she's put a stop to it. She's like, if you take a basic DDT, those are fine, basic things, but no unprotected chair shots, no unprotected head shots at all. So she's put her foot down on quite a bit, which obviously I've thought of some ways around it, but like I've also thought, is that worth getting
Doghouse.
The doghouse, yeah.
Dude, there'd be times where like I'll be joking with her. Most of it's done in the kitchen whenever we're cooking together. She will straight up take a knife and put it like, and I'm like, and I'll just look at her and be like, I'm sorry. And she'll be like, you weren't fucking sorry 10 seconds ago. And I'm like, I was, yeah. I just didn't say it then. I'm saying it now,
Can we put the Tijuana away?
Right.
I literally had that the other night. I was helping Susan make dinner, and I was just giving her shit. I was just like picking on her. And everybody here on the show knows I can pick on Susan pretty well. I even forget.
You're an asshole.
I can be an asshole, and usually when she snaps, I get
concussed. Just saying.
I'm surprised she hasn't killed you yet, because you did give her a fucking German suplex. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
A perfect German suplex.
You have to tell Sid this.
I made her piss herself.
Yeah, I'll tell Sid this. So it was like, a couple summers ago, it was right before Wrestling for a Cure. And Sage chopped me extra hard and said, this is for Susan.
You're fucking right.
During the whole, yeah. So me and Susan were just messing around, and she got up to, I'm going to tell it honestly, because I could butter it and make myself look good, but I'm not doing that. She got up.
Tell it real honestly. You weren't fucking around.
Telling it honestly. Don't worry. But she got up to go to the bathroom. When I was screwing around with her, she had to get past the bed to get, our bedroom's kind of small. We're getting ready to update it. She has to kind of scoot in like she's walking on a submarine. So she kind of has to suck it in and scoot sideways. Well, she was scooting sideways perfectly.
The
So
fuck did you just say? She has to suck it in and scoot sideways?
Dude, I have to suck it in.
Call
too,
her
man.
fat.
No. Don't. Hey, I'm not picking on her. I had to
That's
suck
right.
it in too. I had to suck it in too. Hey, Clue, you hit that fucking button.
I'm
I'll
pretty
kill
sure-
you.
Oh.
But here's what I was
You
gonna
don't suck
say.
a lot of things, don't you?
Getting back to it before Sage tries to
Hey,
get me
Alexis.
murdered a third time. She was scooting right in front of me, her back to me. So I was like, perfect opportunity. So I wrapped my arms around her and I threw her backwards and she landed on her shoulders and she pissed herself.
Oh no!
Yes.
I ran out of the house. She started screaming at me. It sounded like fucking Jurassic Park in the house. She sending videos and messages to everybody. This motherfucker made me piss my pants. And I get Sage messaging me, dude, what the hell did you do to Susan? I was like, it was a perfect German duplex. He goes, how perfect? It was perfect that she pissed herself. That's not an excuse, dude. She was furious. I sat outside, smoked a
That's
pack of
because she
cigarettes.
locked you out of the house.
She locked me out of the house for 3 hours.
God damn.
She locked me out of the house long enough to wash herself, change her clothes, wash the bedding, and she opens the door and she's glaring at me. This was like at 12 o'clock at night. I didn't get in until 3:30 in the morning. And she's got, if you ever look at Susan when she's really pissed off, she's got like this, what I refer to as the Rottweiler look. Like you're about to get it. You piss off a dog so
You
much.
just
the dog got to
compared
snap.
your wife to a dog.
It's not, I'm not comparing her to a dog. It's a stare of death. It is literally
man.
like you're about to get fucking killed.
You bitch, why would you say
Thanks, Kluge.
Yeah. See what Sid, you're digging, dude.
And she's literally, she let me in. She goes, sometime soon, you are going to seriously die. You are going to seriously die. And then fast forward a month later, we're at Wrestle for a Cure. I'm in the Dusty Camera Battle Royal. And immediately Sage hits me with the twisted teeth, throws me the turnbuckle. He leads up to me, goes to my ear, and says, Sue told me to give this to you. And just whap! Almost took my rib cage, my chest, my titties, my heart out. And everybody's like, oh, that's fake. No. That motherfucker like bear paw struck me. He goes,
Yeah, he got his first legit chop that day.
He's like, that's for Sue's, by the way. So
Yeah. My head, it's about the same size as my face.
With a box of cheese.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you guys how she got me back for real besides Sage?
No.
She fucking. So you know those snap pops?
Yeah.
Oh, those little things that you could just like twist in your finger and they pop?
Yeah, you can twist your finger to pop. She ended up, I came home from work. She ended up peppering like 30 of these fucking things on the toilet seat. And first thing I do when I get home from work is I gotta shit.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
And I go in the bathroom, I shut the door, and I drop my pants, I'm spreading, I go to sit down, all of a sudden, it sounded like somebody just fired a gun in the house. It's like, bam, and I jump off the toilet and almost shit myself. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. And I hear her
I
go.
thought you were just going to say you had the quickest shit of your life.
No, but that gunpowder fucking hurts when it smacks your skin. Like, Sage is like, oh, you take one, rub it against your fingers. Imagine 20 of those fuckers going off at once with my fat ass. It was like,
tell me it hit your fucking nutsack.
It didn't hit me my nutsack, but man, I tell you what, I had this. My shit went back in, didn't come out for a few hours. It was done. It was like, yeah.
Oh, that turtle head fucking right back up and said, nope.
Yeah. And Sage is one to talk because Sage has also given her like. We had Sage and Wilhite over. What was it? A couple months ago for fire sale. And Sage goes, I'm going to give your wife an antique cookie sheet because she's hit me with a cookie sheet. There's a cookie sheet somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And we also left the kendo stick over there.
Oh, yeah, the kendo stick's over here too. But
which I broke last week on you.
Yeah, we need to get a new one, retire that one. But she has hit me so many times with a cookie sheet, it's bent. It's here somewhere in the office. But
dude, I've seen it. It is beyond bent. She has beat the shit out of him with it.
But no. Check this out. Here's the antique one Sage brought over. He comes over and Sage goes, Here you go, Suze, for your personal protection, in case someone wants to fuck around and find out. Here is the antique cookie sheet now.
The old school.
Yeah, that thing's hard as shit.
And if you look, at one point, you get, according to her, that's my earmark.
Yeah,
So,
that
yeah.
thing is it's a double layer, so like it's
2 layers.
Oh,
and it's like hollow in the middle. But
as
I mean,
soon as
those
she
things, that's hard as shit.
as soon as she cracked me with that motherfucker, I was like, "Fuck you, say that hurts."
I was told that came out of a mellow cream or something like that.
Oh, no wonder it's so thick. Damn. Oh shit! But, sometimes you gotta have fun with your wife. You gotta tease a little bit. My problem is, I take
Hey,
it too
wait a
far.
minute, Holly. Yeah, can we borrow your taser? We got a fire sale coming up Friday.
Friday, Krampus
Friday.
fire sale. Yeah. Oh god.
Oh,
it is
shit.
Stop.
Everyone here has heard the good news. You haven't. We are on a record-breaking pace for this season.
Nice.
And we are already over the $2,000 mark. We're pushing towards the $3,000 mark. I'd love to hit $3,000 by the end of the season, or by the end of the year, because we're chasing the elusive $10,000. But if we can do 23,000 for this season, we will hit 100K for grand total.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would
Holly
like
says-
to. I'm stating this because I'm trying to manifest it. Here in Quincy, we haven't had wrestling now going on 2 years. The last time that we had it here, IEW came because of this is where I live. Quincy doesn't have wrestling. I would like to try to get it here on a regular basis. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I would like to do a Wrestling for a Cure show here in Quincy. If we could find a way to do it somehow. I know that you do the one a year, one Wrestling for a Cure show a year. I was going to pitch an idea to you to maybe see if we couldn't do like 4 of them a year, and one of them being Quincy, one Springfield. You know what I mean? One
See,
maybe
the
somewhere else or whatever.
doing the one show and the wrestlers donating their time, having them do multiples gets a little hard,
Sure.
which
yeah.
I understand completely. But one of the ideas that Sage and I had been working on, and we did get it to successfully pop off one time, but is to partner with the Fed where they would put on a show and say that a portion of the sales would go to Wrestling for a Cure. So then they were able to use our name, but
Yeah.
technically they're putting it on. The ticket sales can cover the expense of the wrestlers, the venue and insurance and things like that. And then what's left over, the profits, that's what would be kicked over to us. And that did happen in Peoria. And it was actually still a very successful show because we did chops for dollars in that one and ended up raising like $300. And that poor bastard got chopped 300 times, but it is what it is. But if Quincy is going without shows,
We're completely right. I know that the person that we mentioned earlier has moved back in this area, and I know he wants to run shows, but basically his source is the same as mine. We're both I reached out to Brian about renting the ring from PWA, and he's like, I'll be honest with you, the other guy did as well, but nothing has ever come of that. But the cool thing about me being an EMT is I have great connections and with a lot of different ends. I have a couple people lined up that would be ready to like that sponsor.
hell yeah.
It would just be a matter of, getting the ring here. So, whatever I'd have to pay for the ring, whatever I'd have to, I could maybe, if it's a Wrestling for a Cure type of show, I could see about the venue that I go to, either reducing the cost or donating it for the night because of the cost. But you know what I mean? There's so much potential here, and there's so many people. I hear it all the time. When's wrestling come back? When's wrestling come back? When are you going to wrestle in Quincy again? And it's a missed market here, like bad.
If it's done right, it can be great because back in the day, Midwest Powerhouse Wrestling
Yeah.
used to do shows there in Hannibal and Quincy.
Yeah.
And I got to be a part of that there for a while, and it can be done right. But yeah, if we could find a Fed that would help out, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is Quincy did draw some really great crowds, but I'll be honest with you, Frank kind of burned some people, and I've had to rebuild some relationships and whatnot. But this town is just waiting for something like that to happen again, especially if we put it as, this is a event where we're raising money for St. Jude. We're raising money to do this and do that. I just need a financial backer is all I need. I can't throw my money into all of this shit because I'm just an EMT, man.
Well, that defeats the purpose of what you're doing if someone's doing it.
Hold on a second here. Sid, it wasn't Frank that actually burned the people, because his last few years, he wasn't really in charge of all that shit. It was Chris Riot and Aaron that were in charge of RCW.
Well, unfortunately,
Frank's name might have been on it.
Yeah.
But they were doing all the shit. Frank just did the advertising.
Yeah, because go ahead.
Frank just did the advertising, and his name was on RCW banner, but it was those two and Doug O'Shea and shit like that was promoting and doing all that shit that fucked it all over.
Yeah,
but
it
wasn't so much Frank.
Those guys, some of those guys were involved in the IEW coming here. And when IEW was coming here, dude, it literally all fell on my back. Postering. I actually booked just about the entire event. I brought in Sean to work me in the main because I had nobody to work me. The championship was vacant. So I was like, I pitched an idea for that. I brought in No Coast. There's a couple other people that I brought in and stuff too. Justin Savage, who runs NGW, helped me book a lot of that show. I mean, that was on our backs. And, I was the only motherfucker out flyering. I was the only one. They never came up one time.
I know how that feels.
But yeah, some of those same names that you mentioned that ran Frank's name into the dirt. But see, that's the thing. When I was, reaching out to these people, hey, I'd love you for your sponsorship. I know that you sponsored before. Oh, well, Frank left a bad taste in our mouth. I understand. I'm not Frank. Well, wrestling as a whole, I don't think we want to do it, So I've had to win some back, but some are brand new, fresh to it. There's some real local barbecue joints here in town that have shot quickly up, and he is completely on board to do. He's even talked about doing a block party at one point, and he'll pay for the ring, but me being able to pay talent is still out of the question as well. So I just need somebody to help me out, but this is all untapped potential, man.
I still can't believe that Quincy, as big as Quincy is, doesn't have any wrestling shows. There's no wrestling. That's so weird.
And I don't want to
used to have a whole bunch.
Right. From the way you guys have described it, there used to be a good amount of them, but I'm just like, how is it that Quincy, of all towns, as big as it is, Quincy's bigger than Springfield. How does it not have?
No, it's not. Springfield. We're 44,000, and Springfield's over 100 and something thousand.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but still, even then, it's like, how does Quincy not have a wrestling promotion? I don't know. Maybe it's just.
Quincy. You have Quincy, and then you've got Hannibal right across the river, and Hannibal used to have a shit ton of wrestling all the goddamn time.
And Hannibal doesn't have anything anymore either.
Early 2000s, like I said, Midwest Powerhouse, Powell, and damn it, what's his name? Searcher.
Chris Powell and Searcher.
Yeah.
Doesn't Searcher still have AWI
ACW American Championship?
ACW, yep.
But back in the day with MPW, we ran Hannibal and Quincy, and that's when NMW and MPW every 3 months would have those super cards back and forth. where our top talent,
Yep.
their top talent would come over the next 3 months. We had something good back then, and I guess Powell and Searcher had a falling out or something.
Skeletor says New Orleans has a few. Been checking them lately. Oh, Sid. You
I would
want to go
love
down
to.
to New Orleans?
Oh man, I would love to go back to New Orleans.
You were in New Orleans?
He represented Wrestling for a Cure while he's down there. He had his red shirt.
dude. I had the Wrestling for a Cure shirt, and I was on Bourbon Street. I posted up on the Bourbon Street sign, had the ankles crossed, and I had of course I didn't smoke it or anything, but I had a cigar in my hand sitting there on Bourbon Street. I was like, yeah. I sent it to Jason immediately. I was like, dude, look at this. Repping Wrestling for a Cure down here.
That's fucking awesome.
I had so many people asking me about that too while I was down there.
Ric Flair says, you can't tell me them. This is his words, not mine. Quincy River Rats don't like wrestling. I'm sure they do. It's just
they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there's a market for it. I don't want to burn them out and do, like there's like Springfield can withstand doing one show a month. I think if anything, Quincy once every 4 months. Put on a show.
I would agree with that number. Yes, I would agree.
Fucking Skeletor.
God damn
You
it.
sick fuck. Now he ain't coming back.
I tell you what, you throw a couple bitches my way first, and then we can talk.
Oh, you don't want to say that. This man has all the connections. Oh, they're talking about their dog.
He does have all the connections.
Oh dear.
So you're going to be at Pinfall Wrestling's
This Saturday
before Christmas. This Saturday. Do you guys want to go over the card real quick?
Because all I've known is that I'm appearing. I've had no idea who I'm working.
All right, you guys want to go over that real quick, or do we want to do that Friday?
Well, we can do it right now.
Let's do
We
it right
might
now.
get an idea.
Yeah, because I
This is
think
who's
everybody's going to try and go to it, right? I know Bubba say's going, Jay's going, Kluge's going to be there, obviously. Sid's going to be there.
I'm gonna be
You're
there.
going to be there.
I'm not on the main poster. I'm not going. I'm big timing.
I could fix that real quick, but
Just superimpose my face over all of their faces.
put you in the background next to All Eyes on Us and the Mad Max, whoever this person is. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but it's
Just put
kinda
Sid
hot.
Holland right like over the whole poster.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so this is the fight before Christmas. It's going to be at the 8th Street Gym this Saturday, December 14th. For those of you who need the address, it's 1401 North 8th Street, Springfield, Illinois. 6:30 is the bell time. Doors open at 6 p.m. for a meet and greet with Santa Claus. $12 ticket online and $50 at the door. So, let's see here. That's not her. There's Santa, of course. All right, first one up. You got Moondog Pongo versus IJ Sweet.
IJ Sweet just returned not too long ago, too.
Yes, he did.
I don't remember. He wasn't out on injury, was he? He was just taking a break?
No, he went to college.
That's okay. Yep, that makes sense.
All right, what you feeling on this one, Sid?
Oh, on this, dude, I got to go with my man Moondog over here.
You going with Moondog?
I got it. Yeah, I like Moondog. No, time to go.
You can't. All right, Klug, are you able to comment on these? Are you able to comment on these?
I don't really handle the cards. I just do the music.
All right, so who do you think's walking out on this one? Who do you think's going to get the win on this one?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
You honestly could. All right.
Speaking of music, remind me, I got to get my music to you.
Okay.
All right. Jay, what about you?
Man, if Moondog can stop scratching the fleas and actually get a hold of IJ, he might think of him like that annoying pest, but I like IJ. Season 4, This little fucker helped us out so much and ended up wrestling 3 times, plus was in the Rumble. He's got heart and he's got freaking energy for days. I got Sweet.
You got Sweet. All right. Jen is asking if she can bring the puppies to meet Santa and get photos.
Are we talking real puppies or puppies?
Dogs. Real dogs.
That's a valid
She's
point.
talking real puppies because they just
Well,
got
I was going to say, for all the ladies that are watching, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I've never signed titties before.
Are you serious?
I've got one up on
dude.
fucking Sid.
I don't know
And
how
so did
the
Wells.
opportunity has been there like a couple of times, but like I am ADHD. I have ADHD real bad, so like I'll be going 1,000 miles an hour at a show, and I don't know what happened. It just never happened. I think there was like 2 or 3 opportunities to do so, but something you know. And
Skeletor, he's not going to sign your titties, dude.
Let's clarify: female titties.
There you go. There you go.
Dude,
All
I
right.
can't even tell you how many titties I've signed.
Right?
I
That
don't
was
know
like
how we
almost
had it.
automatically every show.
Yeah.
Every show.
They're
fucking
just
titties.
not they don't present themselves like I know a lot of the guys used to say that it was constant. Girls would be like just pulling them out for them. That doesn't happen these days, you know.
Wow.
It does sometimes.
All right. So, Bubba, who you got on this one?
Moondog.
You got Moondog on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, Sage, let's hear what you got.
Knowing how wrestling works, I'm gonna say IJ Sweet.
You're gonna say IJ Sweet. Yes, Sweet.
Just because I know how booking and wrestling works.
Skeletor, shut up. No titty signs since my drinking days. LOL.
Pull them
All
out.
right,
I'll sign them.
look at that talent announcement.
I hate that he included my legs.
I like how it said it's gonna kill you. All right, here we go. The PWA and Wrestling for a Cure Tag Team Championship. All Eyes on Us versus Shield Wall. Where do you guys feel about this one?
Is that a guy and a girl?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They are an intergender tag. That's awesome.
that's Fairfax and fuck, what's his name?
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Damn it, I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about, and I can't remember it either. But yeah,
All
that's
right.
Harley Fairfax, and okay, I'm going All Eyes on Us.
All right, so you're going All Eyes on Us. Sid, what about you?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't care if it was hard. Girl, let me sign them titties. I have actually been up and down the road with All Eyes on Us. We've traveled the Dakotas together.
Oh, wow.
I know how great of a tag team they are because I've won belts from them. They've won belts from us. So I know how resilient they are, and I know that they are going to retain. However, I would love to see these Norse badasses over here take it, but I know it's going to be All Eyes on Us because they're just resourceful as fuck.
They are very resourceful. Every time I've seen them in a tag match, they always come out on top. Bubba, let's hear Bubba's wisdom.
Well, Ellen's favorite tag team that she loves is All Eyes on Us. They are good guys, but I'm going to have to go with Shield Wall.
You're going Shield Wall. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Jay.
You know, the Shield Wall's got some real. They literally got that old school Viking mentality.
Love it. Love their look.
And if anyone could dethrone the streak that All Eyes on Us has, I could see it being Shield Wall, but I think All Eyes on Us has the home field advantage and retains.
All right. There we go. And Kluge. Once again, no comment.
AEOU's been on quite a roll, so
They have been.
so
So, all right. So everybody's basically saying All Eyes on Us, but Bubba is going Shield Wall. All right.
Yep.
It'd be cool to see. Shield Wall take it home, but I gotta agree with Kluge. Kluge's correct. All Eyes on Us is on a roll.
I know Fairfax is tough. She is super tough.
All roles come to an end.
That is very true. Very true. Next up, you got Robert Black versus James Brady.
Oh, shit. Sid, there you go, dude. Stoner Chloe says next time she's in Illinois.
Oh.
Who's this now?
This is my lesbian friend, her and her wife.
Yeah. Wait, do I get to sign the wives too? Because if I get two, that's fucking, especially if it's a set of lesbians, that's fucking dope.
Right, that's got to be doubled up.
You could literally sign just a big wall of tits.
Right.
Yeah.
Sid Holland.
Yeah. Just saying, Max, maybe no. There you go.
Ah, boo. It's all right. Hey, at least I'll finally get to knock that off.
It just depends on when she's coming. I think she's coming up for Christmas. I'm not sure. Are you coming up for Christmas, Chloe? I can't remember if I got to pick you up from the airport or if it's. I know you're coming up for something sometime. You came back up for Thanksgiving. But anyways, Robert Black versus James Brady. We'll start with Kluge this time.
Oh, Robert Black has been using some underhanded tactics as of late, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
There you go. So you're going with Robert Black. All right. Jay, Mr. Governor.
James Brady, since being back, wants to make a statement for himself and put himself back as a legitimate threat in PWA, so I'll give it to James.
All right, so that's one for James, one for Robert. Let's go with Bubba.
I don't know either of them, so I'm just going to say Black.
You're going to say what?
Robert Black.
Okay, so that's two for Robert Black and one for James Brady. Sid, what you got?
Oh, dude. At one point in time, I was going to be a part of James and Savannah's stable. We were going to create a stable together. We were going to be called Top 3. That didn't pan out. And no fault of anybody's, but I think I got some sour grapes because of that, you know.
Uh-oh.
Like I said, no fault of anybody's or anything, but personally, I really like Robert. Him and I get along really well in the locker room. He is funny as hell. His sense of humor is right on par with mine. So I think I'm going to go with the guy that I know better. I'm going to say that Robert's taking it.
All right. And Bubba, or not Bubba, sorry. Sage.
Wow!
Sage!
Woo!
Sage!
Whoa!
Sage Ramsey, Troy Kirkus, Sage!
Oh, shit.
I
Ray, really?
mispronounced my fucking government last name.
I'm trying not to get hit with another twisted team. Leave me alone.
Wow.
Hey, there you go,
wow.
Sid. There's another one.
Rachel.
There's another one,
And
Sid.
ass.
And ass.
Well, that's one I haven't done either. I'm down.
Ass and titties. Ass and
Damn.
titties. Ass
Okay.
Titties.
Well, Sid, this is a little knowledge I'm going to drop on you right now. Robert Black is my current heavyweight champion,
Oh.
and bringing you in.
Uh-oh. Whoa!
No way.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
You might have to face your friend here in the next year pretty soon.
What about
boy.
them sour grapes?
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't make me laugh in the ring as hard as he does in the locker room.
Oh, shit.
Well, you might have to be a heel of a guy because nobody's been able to beat him so far.
Ooh.
He's my first ever heavyweight champion, and he needs I'm not saying he needs to be dethroned, but I'm just saying
He might need a little bit of humbling.
There you go.
It's a possibility because his sister's also my women's champion.
Well, don't
It's
worry, I'll
really-
challenge her too.
It's really hard to find girls that can fucking wrestle these days.
I'll bring in Ashlyn with me.
Oh, that'd be great because I've been trying to get a hold of her for fucking months.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I could definitely make that happen for you.
But, so I'm going to go with Robert Black because he's my boy and he's my heavyweight champion.
All right.
Am I the only one that went James?
I think you're the only one that went James. Yeah, everybody else seemed to go Robert Black. Everybody else leaned Robert Black.
Well, PWA keeps screwing over Robert Black, so I mean, it's not PWA, but I mean, every time I'm there, he seems like he gets fucking beat.
Yeah, well, never know. All right, moving on. We got the Outlaws and a talent announcement. Hey, it looks like the guy chased Black last time.
Oh, what the hell?
I so wish that he'd put pants on.
Hey, it looks like that's all for the card so far. Really?
They're the beefy bunch.
Clue, is that really all that was announced for the card so far, or is there more coming?
Well, there's probably more coming. I don't do the card,
Yeah, he's
so I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
He's not part of the bookers.
Oh well, so that's going to be this Friday. 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas, live from the A Street Gym at 1401 North A Street. Bell times at 6:30. Doors open at 6 p.m. What's that?
Saturday. You said
Saturday.
Friday.
What? Saturday. Friday is where I'm going to end up getting shocked for singing Christmas songs horribly wrong. And I need to get in touch with Holly because Jay, thanks. Where's she at? Where is she at?
Yeah, she said you could use her little shocker.
Yeah.
Well, see,
And it packs a punch.
One can knock the piss out of you. I think Sue should set it on the highest setting and make you get some payback there, bud.
Oh, she's had enough payback. This was years ago. That whole thing was years ago, and I hear she's home. Great.
Hey, nice target, Sid.
Oh yeah, so that was when I qualified. When I submitted for the Illinois State Police, when I got my concealed carry, I had to take a picture of it, and I was like, I have nowhere to put it, so I just hung it up on there, and it's just been there ever since.
Nice.
Never bothered to take it back down. It's pretty good.
I wouldn't.
It was a brand new gun. So you can see where like I started off and was like, oh boy, this is terrible. My shadow's casting terribly. There you go.
Oh, I see it.
Nice, good center mass, not bad.
Not bad.
Then you can see where I started to get the hang of it.
Uh-huh.
But that was I had just bought a brand new Hellcat Pro. And that was my first time shooting it was for my qualification. My first shot is actually here. And
the nuts. That's awesome.
And I looked at the instructor. I go, mulligan. And he goes, unfortunately, no.
Sid, you shot that man, that bullseye in the nuts? I didn't know you were Jewish.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Yeah, but the rest of them were pretty spot on. I just had to get the hang of that brand new gun. I was like, in hindsight, coming and qualifying with a brand new gun probably wasn't the best idea. But
what kind of gun was it?
It's called a Springfield Hellcat Pro. It's a 9mm.
9mm are good. They're fun to play with.
I'd show it to you, but
no. We
got booted for doing that.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't even think of that.
YouTube went all Kamala Harris on us. So I tell you what, if this assault weapons ban lifts like they're talking it's going to, because the current news is the Court of Appeals, they put a stay on it. It's going to stay in effect, but the state of Illinois has to explain how the ban is not unconstitutional.
So, yeah, I was going to tell you that the ban did get lifted, but they put a stop on it because it's being appealed.
It got lifted for 1 hour, and then because they misfiled the first time, and then finally they filed last minute, and it got refiled. So now the ban has stayed, but chances are in 2025, if the state of Illinois, which let's all be honest, I'm going to be really honest, the state is crooked as fuck. It's as crooked as my nose. It's as crooked as everything. Yep, there's your solution right there.
I was going to ask you about that. Is that a real thing? Are you actually doing this?
You do know that I ran for president, right?
Did you really? That's what
Yeah, it did.
It started off as a joke. I even had shirts made that said Will Height 2024, and my slogan was "Can't do any worse." And like what, 8 months before? Yeah, there's the
logo right up there in the corner, right above your head.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Jason Wilhite 2024.
And I went to the state capitol and I filed, and you could legally write me in, and it would be counted.
wow.
So I ended up with like over 300 votes in 4 different states.
Yeah.
Illinois, Missouri, Florida, and a couple in Georgia.
Wait. None in Louisiana?
No, I didn't get any in Louisiana.
Skeletor, you
Skeletor.
So the next thing that I did is I was like, fuck it, you know what? We got a dipshit governor. Maybe I'll just really run for governor. So I do have to go up there and file, but I'm going to go as an independent, and I'm making it known, fuck the voting, just me and Pritzker in a stand-up back alley brawl fight. Winner takes the governorshut. I think it's fair.
That's
hey, you're back here. You gotta explain yourself, jackass. You were saying the whole time. You were saying the whole time. I'm voting for Jason Wilhite.
No. In his defense, he said he loved me and he wished me the luck, but he had to vote the other way. He had to vote. He did say that. I'll give him that.
He did vote Trump. So I mean,
I can't believe you actually got that many votes.
We still won.
Yeah, I ended up with over 300 votes.
Dude, I voted for him. My fiance Susan voted for him. Just one person who did.
Yeah, my wife did.
And the worst part is
she said, "I love you, but I can't for something this serious." It's like, we're in Illinois. We know where the fucking electoral votes are going to go. So why not just write me in? No.
For the governor, though, definitely.
Oh, damn right. Better.
Hell yeah.
We're going to trade our old governor in, our fat, overweight, Elmer Fudd-looking Fred Flintstone son of a bitch, for a muscular, manly monument of manhood. I don't know.
You imagine the shit we could really pull off then with Wrestling for a Cure?
No shit.
Oh, yeah.
You can pull a lot of shit off of Wrestling for a Cure.
I'll really make it WrestleMania.
Dude, this podcast will be...
A wrestling match on the fucking Capitol grounds.
Hey, Abe Lincoln was a wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's even evidence coming out. He wrestled over in Russia for a while. It happens. Dude, that's how you get to the White House. You start out as governor, then you go to the White House. So
yeah.
Well, I'm starting out as a small town president, or mayor.
For Thayer, he's running for it.
Yeah, I'm running for that. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing a podcast here. I'm not going to try and run for office. If I run for fucking office, that's the first thing I'm going to hear is somebody in this cast is going to say, "What the fuck did you just say? You can't even fucking lead us to a picnic. What the fuck makes you think you could?"
Politics to even begin.
Yeah. Yep.
I know enough to fix my fucking.
I want to ask Madigan how you make millions. I mean, I didn't.
No.
I want Jay to run for office so this podcast can at least be famous for the podcast that got Jason elected, and then we start opening the doors to other people, high-profile people, all that shit, and then eventually somebody's going to come out to be a flat earther. And we're gonna get controversial and all that shit.
There it is.
Yeah. Why are you raising your hand, Sid?
I'm a flat earther.
Oh, for God's sakes, no. You're not.
More and more evidence is coming out. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Oh my God.
It's not like fucking like a flat, but I believe it's a disc shaped.
And it's kind of oval, actually, instead of round.
You do know. Yeah. Justin's like, no, you do know they're mounting an expedition to go actually to Antarctica. It's supposed to arrive the end of the month and
Yeah,
show.
and there's actually like a hole in the wall to where you can actually go through.
Oh,
If they find a hole in the wall and meet the Anaki on the other side, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, the Anunnaki. Oh yeah, no shit, dude. If they actually prove some shit, I'm totally fucking in.
no. I guarantee you. I'll guarantee you what it is. I guarantee you what it all is. The drones that are being seen all over New Jersey, which apparently there's been some spotted in Illinois. I haven't seen any. Those are the people. Those are the Anunnaki
You go
drones.
from inside of your house to work, and you're inside on a fucking forklift all the goddamn time, and you're like, "Look at me! I'm walking, driving."
Hey!
And then I watch stores.
Hey,
Just like I did when I was in the guard.
Hey, sometimes I gotta run the trash out. I go outside and smoke cigarettes. I look up in the night sky.
Man too?
Yeah, shut up. I run the trash out to the trash can for the wife.
Oh, for the wife. I thought you
Then
were
I gotta
going
take
to work. I was like, God damn, Jan.
Then I gotta take the dog out at night because Susan don't want to go outside at night. So I'm outside the house quite a bit.
Oh my God, Tyler, we're learning so much more about you now.
I'm not a flat earther, that's for damn sure.
You might be soon, because if we go through this thing and they find dinosaurs, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be a fucking flat earther. They find dinosaurs. Hey, it's been fun, y'all. I'm going to go get a pet Dilophosaurus or something. Oh, shit. Well, I got nothing else to talk about tonight. What about you guys? Going on 9:30 or so?
We're past our time.
I'd say let's save Darwin Awards for Friday.
Yeah.
So the Earth is not. Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
He doesn't know that for sure.
He knows that. Justin is educated.
Okay.
How many members does the Flat Earth have?
Quite a bit.
Are there members all across the globe? Sid was like, I see what you did there, motherfucker.
You son of a bitch.
Just passing it on, you don't have a good track record with pissing off wrestlers. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong. How many wrestlers have I pissed off? Let's see. You, Sage. Well, I am long overdue to piss one off. No, not Sid. Sid's too scary. Sid would probably hurt. Yeah.
Like, I didn't hurt you? Come on, fuck.
Are you kidding me? I was in a neck brace the next day. The hell are you smoking? Of course you hurt me.
See, I've been doing this shit for almost 26 years.
Bought that fucking neck brace to be funny, and everyone's like, "Oh, you idiot! That's not funny anymore."
Technically, Sage didn't hurt you. The Twisted Tea can't hurt you.
If you want to get technical about it, technically Sage didn't hurt me, and neither did the Twisted Tea. I hurt myself by stepping into the ring. I should have just ran for the door.
And why'd you come out with that shirt on, dude? I mean,
you don't have any wrestling.
And the boots.
I don't. Oh shit! You're still going on about the damn boots. 2 years later.
Your damn cowboy boots.
I don't have any wrestling apparel. What can I say?
Well, I mean, shit. You come in there and you're all like, "Okay, I'm coming in here," and then you try to hand me a fucking hot Twisted Tea.
Yeah.
You done fucked up.
I did find that Twisted Tea. It kind of was all bent up and shit, and I started drinking it. All right.
You actually found that one. I'll be damned.
Yep. All right. Well, I say, we've had a pretty good conversation with Sid. Do we want to, obviously, we want to shout out the fire sale this Friday, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this Friday is the Kluge. You're gonna be at work. You're gonna be bowling, aren't you?
That, or I might have something else going on.
All right. So Kluge won't be here.
Kluge's all like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be here. Fuck off."
Yeah,
this Friday is.
Sale, I'm not having it.
This Friday is the Krampus fire sale. $5 donations, and you're getting all types of variety. First of all, you got me singing Shock Collar Karaoke Christmas Carol Edition. If I fuck up, we're going to set that motherfucker up to full blast, and I'm going to get shocked. Probably going to get a shock pen from Holly, which is going to suck.
Now, is it just Christmas carols or Christmas songs?
It could be Christmas carols or Christmas songs. Either way, I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
If it's got Christmas in it. Jay Wilhite is doing Mousetrap Roulette.
Yep.
Oh.
And the Bean Boozled. Sage is doing the Hot Sauce Roulette. There's his roulette wheel.
Woo!
And
Suck ass.
make this make sense to me. Make this make sense to me. Bubba, out of all of them, I'd want Bubba's. Bubba is going to have green beans and watermelon, which apparently
I
he
didn't
hates.
get watermelon. I got pineapple,
Okay, you got pineapple.
which is just as fucking bad.
You're nuts,
I'm
man.
not-
Pineapple is fucking awesome.
I am
Right.
not looking forward to this at
Hey,
all.
Sid, he does
Yeah.
not. He eats Brussels sprouts and fucking asparagus, but he hates peas and
No,
pineapple.
I like
Oh,
peas.
I
he
think
likes
that-
peas. He hates green beans.
Oh, green beans
Yeah.
and pineapple.
I love all of those things.
Asparagus?
Dude, I love asparagus. It's
And
not
I
store-bought
got-
asparagus. If it's freshly picked, and then you throw some olive oil and some salt and you grill it, oh my fucking god!
Oh Jesus!
And I got the can of dog food.
Just proves fucking flat earther fucking eats asparagus. God damn.
Wait a minute, hang on.
So, like I said, I am not looking forward to any of this. And the only thing going to get me through this is that's for the kids.
You're not looking forward to this, you say.
No, not at all.
Meanwhile, I'm going to get shocked for singing incorrectly. Jay's going to get a mousetrap on the fingers, and Sage is going to be chugging hot sauce to the point where he shits a fireball later that night. And you're not looking forward to the pineapples and green beans.
And
Something
dog food.
ain't fucking right here.
Yeah. I'm going to be able to go light a bonfire out of my ass.
Like,
He's asparagus. He's not a flat earther. All right, that is this Friday. $5 donation is all it takes for us to do this shit. $5. You make your donation, you tell who you want to do what, and they'll do it. It is the Krampus Fire Sale this Friday live at 7 right here on the Best Damn Podcast. Sid, I would suggest you donate some money and make Bubba eat
Oh, yeah.
pineapple.
I'll be at work in Pike County, so if it's nice and quiet, I'll definitely be getting on there.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You'll be answering a call. Sir, can you hold this phone for me and watch? Here, just watch this as I try and get you set up here.
Hold
And you hear
this.
the guy. He's having breathing issues. All of a sudden, he sees me. Get shot. Flatline.
Ew.
There it is. Old Roy got old Roy.
bacon
God.
cheeseburger flavor, and I know that's not going to help it, but
No.
It's not.
What if he takes a big old bite and he's like,
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, don't never say
This
never.
tastes so good.
and
Never-
I said I'm not going to do like Tyler and put it in my mouth and spit it out. I am going to actually eat that crap.
I was gonna say.
I was hoping you were going to say I'm actually going to swallow. I so badly.
Nope.
I think we were all waiting on that one.
Yeah,
I wasn't going there. I knew ahead. I was not going there.
Don't give him any ideas, y'all. No. I mean, it could be worse. There is one person on the show who did like dog food one time when he ate it, but we're not going to signal him out. Kluge, you fucking asshole.
What?
It was fast. Shit.
What did I do?
You signaled me out for liking dog food, you asshole.
Ew.
All right. I got nothing else to talk about. You guys ready to get out of here?
I've been ready.
All right, let's go. I'm pretty sure. By the way, he's now the longest interview we've ever had.
Yes.
He beat Ray by.
Your mic went out.
He beat Mike by.
He beat Ray by.
Is it on now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my mic wire is going bad. All right, this is where we can do our final thoughts about tonight. Let's go around the room. This is where you give your final thoughts. Sid, what are your final thoughts?
I would love to come back because you have a whole wall of figures back there. We haven't even touched on collections. I know that I was in my collection room talking to you guys. My
Ninja Turtles.
yeah, dude. If my laptop wouldn't have told me it had 10% left and I had to come in here and put it on the charger, I was going to touch on that. So we definitely got to get me back in. We'll talk about collections and stuff.
Definitely.
Dude, it's one of my post-wrestling dreams is to start my own podcast. I don't have any of the, like, I want one of your setups, the mic, the desktop and everything. You know, I think it would be super dope. But this was a cool experience, man. At first I was like, oh man, there's going to be 5 other people in here. It's probably going to turn to everybody. But it was actually pretty organized, man. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, we've kind of got it rounded out finally. We were a little rough around the edges, but we got her fired on all cylinders. So, and I think I speak for everybody. You're more welcome to come back whenever.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
That was fun.
Yep. Great. Another wrestling aficionado. There's 5 of you now, and I'm the UFC guy. I am seriously outnumbered.
Yeah, well, you suck anyway.
Right?
Shut up. All right, Klug. Dr. Howie Feltersnatch. What's your final thought?
How we felt.
I'm glad you finally noticed my
I've noticed
name
it for
there.
a while.
One, don't ever give Sage a warm twisted tea. And 2, make sure you come check out the PWA show this Saturday.
All right. Let's go. Let's continue it on.
Oh yeah, and one more.
Okay.
Fuck Tyler.
Yeah. Like the 4th person. There's been 3 people in the chat room, and you said it personally. Let's go with huge unit. Oh, it's us, Spoony.
Spoon! What
That's
up,
what
dude?
say real quick. So say real quick, Spoon, congrats on the relationship. I saw that. I hope it works out great for you, man. He got himself a relationship, so good job. Huge unit, what's yours?
Well, Cluey kind of took my stuff. Just don't get into a fight with Twisted Tea kids. You're not going to win. And fuck Tyler.
Especially if Sage is swinging it. Oh! Fuck.
Okay. Mr. Governor, future governor, our savior of Illinois, what's your final thought?
We got everyone that has their own little collections and things they like to invest in that make them happy. Me, no exception. Today, I just got this lovely little bunch. Now, for those of you, that is the 2023 1-ounce British Silver Britannia. Pure silver. Which is that lovely bunch. Gold and silver is my passion. That tube with 25 1-ounce coins cost me $880.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But stockpile and been buying gold and silver since 2004. And when I first started buying, gold was $400 an ounce. It is now over $2,700 an ounce. Wow, people. You can either stockpile your cash or you can have your cash turn around and make money for you. $50,000 in cash in 20 years in the future, still be $50,000 in cash. $50,000 in gold and silver or stocks, 20 years in the future, it's not the same.
Great. You just started a new fucking obsession for me.
You know, to be honest, ever since he told me that's what he collects, I'm sitting there thinking, really should get to that. That was cool.
Dude, as soon as he said it, I was like, why the fuck? Because that's actually something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I'm like, fuck, why haven't I gotten any of that yet?
Hey, man, if you ever want to sit down and chat and go over details, it is a very costly hobby.
Yeah.
But you guys, you look at your collection, it's the same, but the difference is there's so many scams and fakes. You really got to be careful. And thankfully, when I got into it, it was my mentor that sat me down and showed me the ropes and where to go and who to trust. And in Springfield, one of the big ones is the Gold Center. They are legit. They don't fuck you over. Great company. And then there's JM Bullion, where you can do online. That's about the only one online that I will buy from. But you can learn all kinds of different things and ins and outs, and it saves you in the long run.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, cool. All right, that just leaves the man himself, Sage. Bring us on home.
What do I do? What do you want? Oh, my final thought.
Yes.
Great fucking show. Sorry I came in late. It was great to have Sid here. I really don't know anything else but that. Sid, I can't wait to get you into my company and see what we can do and see what you got to offer, because I know you've got all sorts of fucking shit ready to go.
Yes,
and
sir.
I hope you stay healthy and no more fucking concussions, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do safe shit in my company, so it's all good.
Awesome. I look forward to it, bro.
All right.
Yeah, and that's it. Thank you, Tyler.
You're welcome, Sid.
I know, because you're gonna pull up that bullshit video.
No, I wasn't gonna pull it up tonight. Swear to God, no, I wasn't.
All right, you
Now,
son of a bitch.
Cooley was gonna hop on. I would have pulled it up, but but no. All right, Sid. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure. Jeff, we gotta have you back. That's it for us. We'll be back. Buy Yourself Friday, Krampus night, $5 donations. I'm doing shot collar karaoke and Bean-Boozled. He is doing Mousetrap Roulette. He is doing Hot Sauce Roulette. Somehow this son of a bitch down here is eating pineapple and green beans. I swear. I don't know how. Sid's gonna kill me. Yeah, he is. He's gonna kill me. But $5 donation to Wrestling for a Cure. We'll have to link up. This also helps you with the Best Damn Podcast chat room heavyweight championship belt that's getting designed after the holidays. And for all you podcasters watching, it's also going to help with the Battle of the Podcast championship belt that's getting designed. You guys got some catching up to do to us. You seriously do. So to all of you, Notorious Escapades, Open Ghost, War Disaster, get your shit in the game. You want that belt? You want to sit there and say you're a champion? Step up. So
Come get some.
Pinfall's Twas the Night Before Christmas this Saturday at 1401 North 8th Street, 6:30. We'll see you guys Friday at 7. Until then, here is not one, but two moments of Zen.
Our new chicken tendy and french fry combo.
Hell no. Can I get a chicken tendy combo, please?
Okay, that'll be $6.99. Would you like to start our new chicken tendy and french fry combo?
Hell no. Can I get a chicken tendy combo, please?
You can hear the moment he just had a stroke, for God's sakes. And here is number 2, and this one, guys, hurts. I wanted to cry.
Dumbass. Holy shit.
Oh, that's Supercharger blue.
Yeah, it was.
And it flew out.
Oh, You can see the piston. You can literally see the cylinder fly out of the fucking car. God.
I think that was a supercharger.
It was a supercharger. Was is the key word. And it
Peed on the cameraman.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming in. We will see you all Friday. So long, everybody.
Peace.
We get rubber ducky or titties? 1 or 2?
Rubber ducky.
I love rubber duckies. I rub them on my penis. Good enough. Good enough.
What the fuck?